Ah, hello. Oh, man. Well, I'm happy I'm able to stream today, at least. Like, my bitrate drops a little bit, but it's so much better than yesterday. I don't know what happened. Ugh. But anyway, we're good now. We're good. Yup. I hope everyone had a good holiday. Whether you celebrate Christmas or not. My ice. I'm ready. Got one more day of work. Back has been hurting all week. I'm trying stretches out that my dad found for me to do every day. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah. Yesterday was definitely not how I was expecting things to go. I thought someone was like using my internet on me, but no. So something was just interfering with it yesterday. Like my upload's only 10 to 11, which is like the normal, and it works just fine. Obviously, because you see the stream just fine. Like I have terrible upload speed, but it works good enough for what I do. Besides that, I'm doing good outside of the back issues. Christmas was nice. Some good foods. I got to relax, which was sorely needed. Yona, hello. Good to see you. I'm sorry I'm streaming late. I was having talks with a friend who messaged me checking if I was okay, and we had discussions. And also, it's an artist friend, and we talked, and I'm gonna get more emotes. Ah! Quick kiss to Yuna. Oh gosh. I can't believe you did this so suddenly, Naomi. I don't know if I can do this out of the blue like this. Mwah! I totally can. Hee hee. I did it, Naomi. That was adorable. Adorable squeaks from the adorable Yuna. Adorable bun. I'm doing good. So obviously no Resident Evil this week. I'll start the Claire second run next week. And Saturday will just be jumping into triangle strategy. Get into the meat of the game. Since we're just slowly unlocking stuff tutorial-like. Because we haven't even gotten to the main mechanic of the game. So we have to get to that. Maybe next stream. I have not decided on a new game to replace Tears of the Kingdom, though. So I gotta figure that out, too. Nothing too long, because I need a guarantee that I have a slot available for when Persona 3 Reloaded comes out. Because that is a release day game for me. I'm so excited. Your luck's so good. And then I have to leave another slot open because we got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth at the end of February, which is insanity. I'm gonna be lost in both those games. I need like long streams for that, and I cannot do 2 long streams a week. Although football's over, so maybe Saturday, Sunday streams? Hmm? Possibility? I don't know yet, but for now, we need to go into the main topic of today. The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. It's time to go to trial and figure out what's really going on here. Because it's not a murder trial, but there is some very sussy people in this. And we need to rat them out. So let's do it. I don't know what light is messing with my eyes right now. Arr! Yes. Continue. Trial part 2. Okay, now it says part 2. Alright, February 23rd, 9:23 a.m. We're at the Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. Oh, God. Well, there's a thumbnail. Come on, YouTube, don't let me down next when I upload this. What a start. So quiet. This is it then, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, it's time to put an end to this now. To the miserable curse that's been plaguing Mr. Natsume. To everything. Naomi, I loved the last thumbnail. Hee 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 hee. It was great. Or the thumbnail for part 2. If it somehow shows that, like, I'm not timing this at all, because YouTube is weird with when they choose, because it's only early in the stream that it picks a thumbnail from. So, it's just pure luck. In my own small way, I shall do everything I can to help you. I always appreciate your help, Mr. Sato. Suffering, Sasuke, selfishly, sidelined. Good morning to you too, Mr. Natsume. Good morning! Good morning, local student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! Listen to you two chatting away happily as if the main player of today's trial isn't here! Why would you do that? Why? Oh dear, we didn't mean to cause offense, Mr. Natsume. I thought perhaps that because you had your eyes shut so tightly you were meditating, finding inner calm. It seemed wrong to disturb you. I was waiting! What's the matter, Mr. Natsume? You seem different somehow today. Why, naturally, that's because I have attained spiritual enlightenment. The path of literature, you see, is a journey to discover one's own death. Or such like. That's the sort of morning conversation I was hoping for. That's why I had my eyes shut. Oh, he is a mouthful. I missed the signs, I'm afraid. Flurry! Thank you for the sub. Heckin' bye, how you doing? Well, good to me losing my breath. Speaking for, Sasuke. No, good Flurry. Good Flurry. Pat pat. I missed the signs, I'm afraid. Somehow, you'll have to forgive me. And you wasn't talking of your path leading you to death, Mr. Natsume. Let's go. Take all the pats. Hell yeah. That was just an example! Oh yes, there it is. Inner calm. You barely came to see me at all yesterday. I was sure you would abandon me and return to our beautiful long-lost homeland. Now you haven't been in Great Britain a week yet. Yes, well, anyway. I intend to set everything straight in court today. I'm determined to uncover the truth. Hell yeah. I've actually reached an important decision myself. Oh? What's our decision? I shall fill you in after the trial. Alright. That was the calmest he's ever spoken. It would seem Mr. Sholmes isn't coming today after all. It's a very clever message, I think. My dear fellows, you must win this battle on your own merits. It's a very clear message, I think. He's overslept again. The great detective, my arch nemesis. Not me, stay away, if you ask me. Defendant and your legal representative. The trial's about to begin. Make your way into the courtroom immediately. Let's go. Today, once again, we face the Reaper. And when the Reaper stands for the prosecution, the defendant's fate is sealed. But I don't believe in that legend any more than I believe in Soseki-san's curse. The truth is hidden here somewhere, and I won't let it escape me. I have to keep believing in my client and keep fighting to the very end. That's all. It's obviously not Soseki at this point. Too much little suspicious thing going on with this jester. 9:40. What an odd time to start. Why not at 10 like a normal person? In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is ready. Yes, the defense is ready. Very good. Now I call upon the 6 ladies and gentlemen of the jury, chosen by lot to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to proceed? Absolutely. Justice will be done, you mark my words. I feel obliged to say I feel especially ruthless on days when my hat is sitting just right. That's scary. I guess we should have that hat slightly crooked, just to be safe. Oh, well, I wonder if you could adjust my hat for me. And please be a ruthless... Dude. Dude. No simping here. And please be as ruthless as you like. Wink. I can't properly wink with this model on camera and laptop, but wink. Thieves deserve to die if you ask me. Especially gas thieves. I have no sympathy for the man at all. Look, I said it yesterday, I'll say it again now. I don't have time for this, I got my own problems. Did the wife find out you gambled? Oh, may the Lord show us all the light here and lead his flock to a righteous verdict again today. Now, Lord Von Zeeks, what can you tell us? The prosecution's report, please, for the court. In relation to the theory expounded by the defense yesterday, regarding the defendant's team. Oh, so he does have the results. Oh, he's already pouring out the wine. Oh boy. Hold on, I'm just doing this because I honestly can't look up. I don't know why my eyes are bugging out. Looking at lights. Yes, wine. Von Zeeks loves wine. Before the prosecution delivers the black news about the black tea belonging to the blackguard in the dock. Pray, allow me a moment to savor a liquid of a more sanguine hue. In fact, I'll defer to the good detective for the report. Here's to you, Inspector. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. As indicated by the defense, we found the bottle just outside the victim's window in the snow. And there was indeed a frozen reddish liquid in the little depression on the top of it. Yes, that's the tea. That's what Mr. Natsume brought with him that night. Well, the brains at the yard analyzed it, and yes, you're right. It was tea. And there wasn't a trace of strychnine or any other toxic substance in it. Hey, no poison. That's a good sign. That's a good start. No poison at all. In other words, the tea that the defendant brought with him in the victim's room is innocent. It's in the clear. What a revelation! I already forget his voice, as I suspected. This makes it quite clear. The defendant, Mr. Saseki Natsume, is blameless here. Oh. My learned friend is jumping to conclusions again. A typical Nipponese reaction. What? Yes, it's true. No poison was found in the few drops of liquid recovered from the soap on the window ledge. But what logic is that? Would you take a drop from the Thames and conclude that the water of the ocean isn't salty? And someone better go cuddle Flurry. My word! The water in the ocean is extremely salty, Counsel. Oh, you already... We just started and you're already breaking glass! Exactly. Unfit for drinking, just as the victim's tea was on the night in question, as the court has already heard. Bitter was the precise words from the lips of Mr. William Shamspeare, whom the prosecution now calls back to the stand. Oh, we're starting off with Shamspeare. Okay. Interesting. But we will uphold the prosecution's request. Mr. Shamspeare? Yes, it sounds like we're going to have another confrontation with our theatrical friend. Yeah, what is his game? We got a lot to get. Start reaching for BS. I think he's going to start saying that Saseki never actually drank the tea at all. And we already know that's not true. Bailiff, show Mr. Shamspeare to the stand. Was that like a kiss? Mr. William Shamspeare, the victim of this despicable crime. Oh, what? Oh, heaven, oh, hell, do you command me to remember? Forsooth, 'twas I, Shamspeare, did have a bellyful of the foul fluid given in mine innocence. Yes, but as was revealed in yesterday's proceedings, the witness is not as innocent as we had perhaps first been led to believe. By using bars of soap such as this, he has been stealing gas from the supply company, yes. One may smile and be a villain. Forsooth, 'twas I, Shamspeare, did have a roomful of the sweet fuel given. That's right, fellow jurors, don't forget, this man is a rotten thief. I haven't forgotten, kept all that about the ice coins a tidy secret, didn't you? Should have opened up sooner. Arrest him, I say, arrest him at once, and let him feel the sting in my tail. Oh, indeed, by dint of violent, cowardly means have I plotted to further mine own ends, I confess. Vows would not pardon my sins, of that I am sure. If you acknowledge your wrongdoing, what exactly are you doing here? Cowards die many times before their deaths. And for a coward such as I, death be well deserved. But would it that a still greater crime passeth unpunished? For lo, the hairy-faced gentlemen are farther east than Verona did contrive to poison me. What a dance.
Objection!
Objection! But there was no poison in the tea found in your room. The police have attested to that. What the defense would assert as an inconsistency will quickly be cleared up by the witness's testimony. Is that not so, Mr. Shamspear? Verily, my liege, I would most gladly speak. I don't know. How drunk is Flurry right now? But I guess it's easy for people to sleep to my voice, so it might work. It might work. Just give us time. Very well. Let the witness testify to explain this inconsistency. Tell the court why it is the poison apparently entered your body, though none was found in the tea. Oh, this should be good. The tea inconsistency. The Japanese man did come to my chamber with tea brewed in a pot. 'Twas in my cup alone that the wicked miscreant secretly poured his wicked poison. Whilst feigning distraction in our debate, ne'er did a drop of his own drink past his lips. That's a lie. When he departed by and by, I did use the tea that remained in his cup to make my coins of ice. Thus, 'tis no surprise the poison be not found in the tea I did pour into the molds of soap. He does lie constantly. We already know. The poison was slipped into the cup after the tea had been poured. Yeah, the cup rang. The normal way for poison to be administered, in my experience. Quite. Otherwise, it would be disastrous if the poisoner were to mix up the cups, for instance. But no poison bottle was found at the scene. Because, quite simply, the Japanese took the bottle back to his own room. But it's not there. The absence of a vessel containing the poison only becomes problematic when considering suicide. I knew that. By now it should be perfectly clear. A bar or two cheap soap is wholly insufficient to wash the deep stains of guilt from the accused's hands. He hates Japanese. Still don't know why. Something happened to an old Japanese friend, though. That's all we know. Ah! Sirs, madams, 'tis true that I, Shamspear, be a common thief of gas. But, listen here, ladies and gentlemen. How is that? I still don't know how that bends like that. Wherefore would I lie? Verily, I have no cause. I have naught to lose. He broke character a bit. Well, I do declare. He's already convincing people. Thank you for your testimony, witness. Counsel, proceed with the cross-examination. Yes, my lord. So I'm going to start pressing just to make sure I don't miss anything, because maybe there'll be something else that I have to present the teacups to. I did come to my chamber with tea brewed in a pot. Press.
Hold it!
I understand that you were already acquainted with Metonymy. Is that correct? I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. Do I know thee? Oh, know thee not. Methinks 'tis all I can know that thy destiny mingles with mine. You lost me at the first thee. Zounds, thou must learn the English tongue before thou turns thy hand to lawyering. I did, but I must have missed the archaic Elizabethan lecture. Verily and in truth, 'twas a fine flavored brew. Though a drop of poison did barb its sweetness, as the thorn doth barb the sweet rose. That, dear friends, be the simple truth. this is Mr. Shamspear. He seems in even better form than he was yesterday. Hear that, or I'm in worse form. That fated evening after I did dine. It's that English speak, Naomi. It tricks people. He performs it well. At Grubb's Gubbery, a local alehouse of good report. Naught did pass my lips but the tainted black tea. But behold, the poison was not in the tea at first. 'Twas in my cup alone that the wicked miscreant secretly poured his wicked poison.
Hold it!
Let's face my drum solo? Do it. I want you to. Are you saying that you saw the moment when the poison was added to your tea? To have witnessed the act and then drink the tea? Thou dost describe the actions of a fool. Quite so, quite so. He's being a Jammy Dodger. Absolutely. But no one likes going thirsty, do they? But no one likes going thirsty, do they? And there he... Sooner would I die quenched than parched. Would I have the choice? Fucking Laven. Actually, on the night in question, the water main was frozen, I believe, wasn't it? Were it not for the tea, in sooth, I would sooner have died frozen than quenched or parched. Right, no ice coins means no heating. The witness had more than one brush with death on the night in question, it would seem. Remind the court, Mr. Shamspear, as to whether the accused drank any of the tea which he brought with him. With the greatest of pleasure, my liege. How are you, Guyan? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to trial with the fake Shakespeare. Most faint distraction our debate ne'er did a drop of his own drink pass his lips. Liar! There's a difference.
Objection!
We know he drank. You claim that Mr. Natsume didn't drink a drop of tea on the night in question. But that's impossible. How, chop logic? What is this, ye dark, ye-clad fiend? The two teacups from the scene, one used by the victim and the other by the defendant, have a clear difference between them. One that represents incontrovertible proof. Incontrovertible? What difference? Look at the inside of the cups. Just here is a clearly visible ring. Yes, tea ring. Commonplace enough. Indeed, such stains occur all too readily when one leaves tea in the cup for a while. And yet, Mr. Natsume's cup has no such ring. Good lord, you're right. It's completely clean. And prithee, sir, what makest thou of it? Exactly what Mr. Natsume told the court yesterday. The Japanese saying he quoted. Drink tea while it's hot. That's right. Yes. The jittery Mr. Natsume was true to his usual self that night and drank his tea in no time. Ooh, that's a different face. Uh-oh, he's been looking like a fool. If, as you claim in your testimony, he didn't touch a drop of his tea, a ring would have developed on the inside of his cup as well, after the several hours the tea was left standing. But, in short, Mr. Shamspear, you clearly lied to the court. Get me to a nunnery!
Objection!
Oh, now you're actually drinking the wine. As a rule, I fill my hollow chalice up to 7 times during any one trial. You might want to keep that information to yourself. Oh, okay, you fill it up again? Did you really just drink all that at once and now you have to fill it again? How's he not drunk? Yet on occasion, tedium distracts me and I pour more times than I intended until the bottle is dry. Your drinking habits are fascinating, but irrelevant. Topping up? Alright, fair enough, Guyan. That works. On the contrary, they illustrate the fickleness of human memory. To William Shakespeare. Yes, my liege? Though you previously stated you made the coins of ice from the leftover tea in that Cusi cup. Could it be that you were perhaps mistaken? Oh, eh? Could it be that, yes, perhaps there was some tea remaining in a small teapot left at the scene? No, don't break it! Again? A fact that had vanished from your memory until now. Faith, my liege, thou art a magician. For verily, tis as though thou hast seen with thine own eyes that night. What? The usual prosecution, manipulation, tactics. Forsooth, I was mistook. I did plan to use tea from the Japanese fellow's cup, but lo, when I looked, it was empty. And thus did I use the dregs that festered in the teapot, as my liege did suggest.
Objection!
And you just suddenly remember now that you made a mistake before? Are we supposed to believe that?
Objection!
People's memories are imperfect, my learned friend, which is why we rely on evidence instead. Oh? You have evidence? But in any case, it makes no difference. The victim's most recent testimony tells us two things of note. Firstly, that the poison was put into the victim's teacup only. And secondly, that this spoiled cup was not the source of the insipid ice coins that had bewitched this court. Oh, I get what he's trying to say. He's trying to say that he only used the tea from the teapot, which did not have the poison in it. The prosecution makes a fine summary of the facts. Furthermore, that testimony remains valid and in full support of the established facts. In other words... Oh, capes off. Means business. The inconsistency claimed by the defense simply does not exist. No! What does this mean then? I do declare it means there's no issue with the gas thief's testimony. Apart from the bit about thieving gas, obviously. My lords, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I do solemnly swear, after I did dine at Grubb's Gubbery Ale House that night, not did it pass my lips, but the black tea given me by the Japanese, whose back be stooped as low as death. Stupid. On what did you dine, sir? Why, I did partake of my favorites. A broth as would be called soup, and a leaf as would be called salad. Soup and salad, that's it? As insalubrious a menu as the establishment where it served. But the gods will give us some faults to make us men. Willingly would I suffer what punishment 'tis seen fit to serve a wicked thief a gas, but I pray ye wise and noble fellows never forget the simple truth. That we one thing and this be another. Jurors all, your humble servant Shakespeare doth entreat you, punish the Japanese fellow for his sins. My lord! Uh-oh. If I may speak, my lord. Yes, Mr. Foreman. I believe we may have been duped by that rotten defense lawyer. By me? I do declare you may be right. We all know the waif there was making coins of ice to keep self warm. This lawyer lad says he's stealing gas, he deserves a dose of poison, eh? That's not what I said. He's been leading us up the garden path, that's what he's been doing. I really never said anything like that. What we just heard from the victim there has opened our eyes again. We've reached a decision this time. We won't be swayed from it. Oh boy. I mean, to be fair, Von Seeks is really good at tricking the jury as well. And we technically do not have any evidence against Von Zeke's argument. So, you know, it's kind of hard to blame him when we don't have evidence to support our claim now. The court acknowledges the position of the jury foreman. He seeks a conviction. Exactly. And will duly hear the jury's findings. What? No! You can't yet. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your decisions now.
Guilty!
Oh boy.
Guilty.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty! Guilty!
Oh, we gotta do this again. I forgot you can only do this twice? Hereby declare the jury to be in one accord. Oh, happy day! Look at my little dance. Is his tongue sticking out too? I don't like that. I'm pretty sure his tongue's sticking out. How is this happening? Oh, swipe your tail feather. Oh no! My lord? The defense asserts its right to carry out a summation examination. Very well. The court upholds the defense's right. Typical. My learned friend is unable to accept the obvious truth. Shake it, guy, and shake it. This trial will therefore enter the second summation examination immediately. Judge, the court calls upon each of you to state the grounds upon which you find the defendant guilty of the crime of which he is charged. Yeah, this is the last time we can do the summary. The jurors' contentions. Oh yeah, Guyan, shake that booty, shake that tail. I'm a man of logic, me, and having considered all the evidence, the defendant must logically be guilty. I do agree the gas is far too expensive. I can quite understand why the man would want to avoid paying. Flurry, you're still up? Yeah. Give you hugs. The stuff explodes and it can poison you. It's actually lethal gases. Gas doesn't come for free. It costs a fortune to deliver it around the city and maintain the pipes. Truth be told, the tea my wife serves up for me is a little sketchy at times. If nothing else passed the victim's lips that night, there's no other explanation, is there? Oh my god, the old man actually said something? Like, meaningful? I do feel that perhaps personal opinion about gas and its supply has influenced decisions somewhat. But never mind. Was there food? The only thing on the plate was soap. I don't think there was actually food. No, you really should mind. No, soup and salad was at the place. That was before going home, and then they had the tea. Unless you're saying he got poisoned. Well, no, the poison would take so much. The poison would take too long to act at that point. Truth is, our counter-argument wasn't as unassailable as we'd hoped. And Mr. Shamster was poisoned. There can be no doubt of that. Then how are we supposed to turn this around? I think we need to establish the method by which Mr. Shamster was actually poisoned. Oh man! No! Flurry, no! It's just that the old guy in this game Normally it's just spouting nonsense, but he actually said something that could be important. I just wasn't expecting it. Come here, Flurry. I'm gonna give you all the hugs right now. Because I was not attacking you. I only hope this is demonstrated that to the court incontrovertibly. But that's surely almost impossible at this stage. If we don't manage it though, Mr. Natsumi will be found guilty. No delays, counsel. Proceed with the submission examination. Look at this smug face in the background. Alright, time for another one. The defense's rebuttal. So, I'm just gonna start pressing everyone for now and see if testimony changes.
Hold it!
Must logically be guilty. All the evidence, you say? That's right, and there's no room for doubt. It's all pointing to the Japanese man with the big mustache. Says the Englishman with the bigger mustache. Which means we need to show the man some new evidence to make him change his mind. If only we had that kind of evidence. Don't worry, this submission examination has barely started, really. Perhaps we'll be shifting the situation that shows an existing piece of evidence in a new light. Let's hope so. To start with, though, I need to find some way out of this deadlock. You agree that gas is far too expensive. I can quite understand why the man will want to avoid paying. So now it's just about gas in these next three. It's so random. This isn't the time or the place discussing the price of gas, madam. But really, think of the injustice. Air is a gas, and air is free. Why should Altamount gas cost money? It makes my blood boil. I can feel myself becoming more ruthless than ever. This isn't the time or the place to be ruthless either. Is juror number 3 getting excited about her being more ruthless? If I might interject here. Yes, madam? It seems my fellow juror takes issue with the price our company charges for gas. Well, it's precisely because of thieves like this man that the cost goes up. Oh, what a beastly man. That unkempt mustache, those hunched shoulders, poisoning tea and stealing gas. Wait, what? He's not the one stealing gas. Utterly unforgivable. No, Mr. Natsume isn't the one who's been stealing gas. I'll thank you not to go adding on more crimes. Mr. Natsume hasn't been poisoning tea either. Well, anyway, I've quite made up my mind. It's as made up as the price of gas. The stuff explodes and can poison you. It's absolutely lethal gases. Oh?
Hold it!
Well, can we please talk about the poison rather than the gas, you think, sir? Well, if you like, I mean, to be honest, I take poison over gas every time. You take poison? What I mean is, poison can only poison you. It doesn't explode, does it? Goodness me, what are you talking about? Set one straight, please, lawyer man. Well, it's certainly true the poisonous and prone to exploding. But I think you'll find poison also can't light or heat up a room. Ah! You're right. I hadn't considered that at all. Young lawyer man. Yes? You have a good head on your shoulders. We could use someone like you as our company's legal representative. Well, I wasn't expecting to pick up more business in the middle of a trial, that's for sure. Hey, you know what? I'll take the money. I need money. Anyway, the point is, I haven't had the best experience with gas companies in the past. Gas doesn't come for free, it costs a fortune delivered around the city and maintain the pipes.
Hold it!
Oh man. Can we please refrain from all this talk of gas? There's an all-out attack underway here in case you haven't noticed against my company's gas. And I'm supposed to sit here and take it, am I? I don't think so. She's really buzzing now. Like, Had a bit to drink because these people are just dumb. They are so focused on gas. All I've heard about are wonderful fuels, explosions, and poisonings. What about electricity? Oh, getting electrocuted. What about that? Well, explosion here and there is nothing in comparison. Any explosion could hardly be described as nothing, madam. Nonetheless, the theft gas is deplorable. My point exactly, but the gas thieves aren't even the worst of our enemies. I respect General Ford because at least she's trying to actually defend accusations. We have far more devious retrobates to contend with on a daily basis, you know. More devious? Who, madam? Other gas companies, of course. Oh, of course, competition. Because competition is bad. I suppose so, yes. Other gas companies? Not quite what I was expecting. We generate gas and we deliver to our customers fair and square. Indeed, nobody's questioning that, madam. Altamont is an exemplary gas company. But there are other unscrupulous gas companies here in London that don't even have any gas at all. Just curious. What? But if they don't have any gas, how do they go about selling it to people? You wouldn't think it possible, would you? But they steal our gas, you see, and sell that. They steal your gas? Oh, not is such a thing possible. Gas companies like ours deliver gas to people's homes via a network of pipes. But these devious retrobates secretly disconnect our pipes and divert our gas into their own rotten pipes. Then they make a contract with the household supplied by those pipes. They take money for the precious gas that's rightfully ours without us even knowing. They're diverting gas into their own pipes illegally. What a brazen form of theft. When we visit customers' houses to collect the money from their meters, we always have to check whether or not one of these devious companies is up to its tricks. Oh? Oh?
Excuse me.
Hello? Do you have something to say about that, juror number 3? Is he stealing gas from the company? Oh golly, you mean me? I'm terribly sorry. I was just thinking to myself. I really did catch him off guard there. Thinking about what the lady next to you was saying, correct? Well, yes. I just got a little riled about it recently, you see. Go on. An Ultimate Gas worker visited my house the other day to investigate the pipe work. We need to ask for your cooperation while we carry out a secret check of your property, sir, the fellow said. So I let him in, and do you know what he did? I'm afraid I have no idea. Please tell us. He proceeded to take one of my lights off the wall. Then he grabbed the exposed mouth of the pipe and started blowing into it. What do you think you're doing, young man? You're giving away company secrets there. Oh, please, everybody knows. It was really nearly death to me, I can tell you. What do you mean? I'll explain if you don't mind. As I said before, these unscrupulous other gas companies connect their customers to our pipe network. Yes, but how does blowing into the pipes come into it? Obviously, there's gas in the pipes, and it's at a fairly low pressure. By blowing air through the pipe, you can make the pressure drop temporarily. And if you do that, any lights connected to the same pipe will flicker for a moment. Ah, I see. In other words, if I'm blowing into the pipe, the lights of an adjacent property that has no contract with your company flicker, you can know that these devious scoundrels have been meddling with the pipes. Exactly, my lord. That's it in a nutshell. It's the reason why we have teams of workers going around neighborhoods to investigate which lights flicker. This is a very complicated setup when it's only talking about the gas. This is 3 jurors where we're not even talking about the poison. They're like so hell-bent on talking about the gas that we're getting nowhere. Unless this actually has a meaning. The trouble is, the particular worker who came to my house didn't know the strength of his own breath. He moved down the pipe with all his might. And you can guess what happened, can't you? Well, it blew hard, then... Wait, you mean... That's right, the lights didn't just flicker, they went out! Along with the stove, gas started pouring into the house! You're right, Naomi, that just hit me too! Wow! Did you have to word it like that? Naomi, that was bad. I know you didn't mean it, but that's funny. I can't, well, now we know the point of that. On the stove, gas started pouring into the house. What a disaster. The gas supply must have been interrupted briefly because the man blew too hard. So the flames went out. I'm afraid I yelled at the fellow. Are you trying to kill us all? I said. Ryunosuke is realizing it too. So by disconnecting the lamp and blowing it to the exposed gas pipe, it's possible to extinguish lamps and stoves connected to the same network of pipes. And then when the gas starts flowing again, it just silently seeps into the room. Naruhodo, I think perhaps... Yes, this is almost certainly the clue that we've been hoping for. Juror number 3, the defense requests that you amend your statement to include that information. Oh, well, if you like, I don't mind. Well, I do! That's our company's secret method of identifying the rogues that tried to diddle us. Don't say diddle. Don't say diddle. I read that right. Yeah, diddle. Yeah, that's why the handprints are on the wall. That finally explains it. I had a feeling it was something similar to that. Like, there's a secret hole that he used to turn the gas off himself, but no. This is definitely a more effective. Like I said, man, it's widely known already. Very well, juror number 3, you will amend your statement accordingly. Yes, my lord. Although I'm not really sure what the point of all this is. Blow too hard into a gas pipe and extinguish everything in the house, and then you're in real trouble. Oh wait. I'm gonna press him first. He might have something else to say.
Hold it!
Like, it might start with one statement, and then it, like, goes to another. But we can't present evidence here, unfortunately. We have to just pit statements. When you say extinguish everything in the house, do you mean even on different floors? Oh yes, all floors connect to the same pipe after all. That's true of every building. Because gas supply contracts are issued for all properties. Well, I had no idea that it was possible to extinguish gas appliances simply by blowing down the pipe. It's not something we like to publicize, to be honest. You have to carry out these investigations, as I'm sure you can appreciate. Nah, now we have 3 statement. I have to do something with 3. Indeed. Has been mentioned on more than one occasion in the papers even. Is that so? It's been mentioned to me too, very recently. Only the gas stove going out inexplicably, almost leading to someone's death. Hold up, I think perhaps... Yes, it's finally starting to fall into place. A secret link that joins all these strange occurrences. I can't present. So now... Alright, I'm gonna press everyone else's just to see if anything else comes up. And then I'll start pitting statements. Alright, truth be told, the tea my wife serves up for me is a little sketchy at times.
Hold it!
Okay. You mean it's poisoned? That's right. It's happened a tidy few times now. This is most troubling indeed. Food? You know you didn't eat yet. Get your foods. It's always days like this when I don't get any wages. I get in at tea time, see? And I see her doing it, my wife. She gets that devilish look on her face and she slips some white powder into my cup. Sir? I'm pretty sure that's just sugar. And you drink it anyway? I was brought up proper, I was. If someone gives you a cuppa, you drink it. And what happened to you? What did it taste like? It was god-awful, believe you me. Salty as hell. Not sugar. He puts salt in the tea. Who puts salt in tea? What? Who puts salt in their tea? Unless you're trying to... I'm glad I did this regardless. You van Zeeks! Maybe. Then I think perhaps what your wife put in your tea was salt. No! So, she doesn't even care enough to poison me properly, eh? Unbelievable. Let's move on, please. Yes, alright. Your statement could matter, too. Oops, at night, there's no other explanation, is there?
Hold it!
And let's see. I mean that if the victim could be shown to have ingested something else, do you change your leaning? Sorry, what's that now? Oh, I was just saying, if the victim did actually eat or drink something else on the night... What's the matter with you? Sorry? I said, if nothing else passed the victim's lips that night, there's no other explanation, is there? Haven't you been listening to me at all? I feel there's an English expression about a pot and a kettle that's appropriate here. Apparently the managers who don't even appear to have anything to say about the case at all? It would seem that this unruly gentleman has been listening to the proceedings far more intently. I suppose the trouble is... He has selective hearing? Exactly, but still. Mr. may well be the key to the breakthrough that we so desperately need. This is hopeless. There's no way for me to appeal to these people. I do think that the only way we shall overcome this difficult situation by exposing the way in which Mr. Shamster was really poisoned. We have to prove that it happened some other way and not via Mr. Natsume's tea. Yes, I know. The trouble is, I have absolutely no idea how it did happen. Naruhodo, I wonder if perhaps there's something you might have forgotten. Oh, like what? It's important to watch everyone involved and pursue people if they react to something someone else says. Let me remind you exactly what I mean. Oh, okay. Again, alright, well, we already did this. No need. Actually, I don't think there's any need. It's vital that we start trying to change these jurors' minds as soon as possible. Of course, I'm sure you're right. Can we play the gas's mouth? Okay, so there was a tutorial if you weren't able to do it. Alright, so I never finished hers. So let's keep going with hers. Maybe something else will happen. So let's get to when he reacts. Oh, there's a lot to get through here. Ah! Key! Heck! How you doing, Key? Thank you so much for the potato bait. Thank you. Heckin' raiders, yeah. Oh, contraband police. How much contraband did you end up getting, sir? Oh, I like the emo combo there. Yeah. Hello, hello. Welcome to the trial. Lawyer Bluey here, solving all the crimes, making sure that the defendants aren't found guilty, and dealing with some really dumb jurors that only love to talk about gas. Too much known, surrounded by a nation of criminals. What is contraband in Ireland? Good point. Key, can you give us examples of contraband in Ireland? I would love to know. And while you explain, if you know any, I'm gonna. Oh, my arm's numb. I got up. I'm opening my window because it's getting a little hot in here. Damn it, Key, you join and all of a sudden it gets too warm. How heckin' dare. There we go. It's a little better. I needed to get up anyway. Let me fix this. Alright, back to... drugs, weed, weapons, counterfeit money. The usual. Check whether or not one of these thieves companies been up to its tricks. Okay, this is new. I had no idea. It's almost unbelievable. It might seem unbelievable to you, but it's happening all the time, right here in the capital. It's very difficult selling something you can't see. Joke setup passed on. Oh no! It's very difficult selling something you can't see, you know. Very difficult indeed. Okay. Thank you, that will do. Clearly this is a very involved subject, but I feel we have digressed rather too much already. I concur, though if my learned friend wishes to become an expert in gas, I believe the subject will suit him well. To your new career in nothingness. Thank you so much. Is that something like American beer? Plus, return your attention to the next rules of session, please, Counsel. Alright, so nothing there. Well, what if we go into different testimony then? Oh, this guy. Maybe we can present something now. All the evidence. Let's try this. Nope. That wasn't it. Oh! How about 3 and 6? The gas passed his lips.
Objection!
Oh, that is it! 3 and 6! Ah! Did you say 3 and 6 at some point? You did think 3 is 6 at one point. Okay. It actually is 3 and 6. Yeah, the gas passed his lips. Statements clearly contradict each other. Good gracious. To whose statements do you refer, counsel? Juror number 6, did you hear what juror number 3 just said? Yum, Yuna got the foods. What? Yes, of course. I heard him mumbling about something or other. There is another explanation here, I believe. Something besides Mr. Natsume's tea did, in a manner of speaking, pass the victim's lips on the night in question. What? What explanation? I wonder, did the police check the mouth of the gas pipe feeding the wall light at the scene? To see if there are any traces of poison there? I was curious to see what your floundering would result in this time, but the mouth of a gas pipe? Scotland Yard have enough to do without exploring such irrelevance. Oh? What a piece of work is a man! What are you trying to say, Mr. Shamspeare? What speakest thou? Prithee, is it not strange and strange? That is what I say to thee, sir. I thought I'd been quite clear, but let me put it another way. The strychnine could have been on the mouth of the gas pipe that feeds the wall lamp in your room. And that is how the poison came to enter your body. Good lord! Are they tasty then, gas pipes? Is that what he's saying? Oh, is the gentleman suggesting that the poor man was so desperately hungry, he tried to fill his belly with gas? Perhaps no actress will perform a kiss scene with him, For shame, madam, speaking thy fancy. I assure you, I'm not such a buffoon that I have to kiss pipes.
Objection!
Oh, there goes more glass. This is no summation examination. This is a farce. Prosecution will not stand for any more of my learned Japanese friend's conjecture. To begin with, the lamp in the victim's room is high on the wall. In order to have placed his lips in the pipe that feeds it, he would have to be a contortionist. These are empty assertions. He broke 2 glasses! You can't break 2 in a row! What's wrong with you? Why do I sound like Mickey Mouse there a little? Ron Zeeks is breaking me. These are empty assertions. There is no possible proof the man did as you say.
Objection!
We actually have proof. It's true. I have no proof that Mr. Shamsir put his lips to the pipe. However, I can say with some certainty that on multiple occasions, Mr. Shamsir has been doing something in front of that lamp on his wall. And I have evidence to prove it. Alright, you've got our attention, lad. I'd like to see how you can be so sure of yourself. Aye, so would I. Let's see this evidence then. Now that I've got the jury's ear, I need to make this opportunity count. This is the proof that time and time again, Mr. Shamster stood in front of his gas lamp. The handprints on the wall!
Take that!
What the? These are... wait, what are they called? Yes, skin prints that were found at the scene. Skin prints, counsel? I've never heard of such things. The Justice Ministry is currently assessing whether or not to permit fingerprints as evidence in court, however. My lord, this is an exciting new forensic technique developed by the Drake detective, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. It reveals all the places Mr. Shamsier touched in his room. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, that's black magic, isn't it? Well, if anyone could invent something like this, It's that great Shums fellow, that's for sure.
I agree. This month's edition of Engineering Thumbs was quite fascinating.
We found skin prints in many places that you would expect. On the table, on the costumes. However, Mr. Shamster also appears to have been touching some very unexpected places in his room. Got a party, oh no! For example, here. On the hanging picture there? Indeed, multiple handprints appear to be visible.
Well, I wonder, could he been appreciating the artwork perhaps?
At first, my colleagues and I thought the same. However, imagine standing with your hands where those prints are, and you would find yourself directly in front of... Ah!
I don't believe it! The gas lamp!
Yup. Though the reason why isn't immediately obvious, it's clear that Mr. Shamspear has regularly been standing with his hands to the wall in front of that lamp. Right. What have you been up to, you nut? So is it possible that the guys that's been inspecting Shamspear's lights put poison on it? So wherever that guy is, he might be the one that's guilty. Oh, I did not think of that plot twist at all. I honestly didn't think that. I'd asked the court to recall juror number 4's earlier statement. Yeah, the big chin guy.
Me? What did I say?
You said that blowing into a gas pipe would make the lights in the entire building flicker. And now, if you'll recall juror number 3's statement... maybe. What? Me now? When the gas worker visited his home blew with too much force into the pipe, it caused all the lights in the gas stove to go out, and gas to start leaking into the rooms. Obviously, that incident was an accident. However, the simple fact is, if Mr. Shamster were to have blown hard into the gas pipe here in his room, he could have extinguished every other light and gas stove in the building as well. Crikey!
Are you suggesting that the man purposely caused the gas to...
Objection!
Oh, there's another glass. How much has he poured out? Whilst I acknowledge that the prosecution is required to remain silent during summation examination, I must toast my learned friend's utter disregard for the letter of the law.
What is the meaning of this, Lord Van Zieks?
This curious photograph, or whatever it is, presented by the defense, the so-called skin prints, clearly that cannot be accepted as any form of usable evidence in this case.
But it's an exciting new forensic technique developed by a great detective.
It's nothing. And there goes another glass. It's nothing. A mere toy developed by an amateur sleuth with too much time on his hands.
Certainly, even research of this nature by the esteemed Mr. Shums cannot be recognized by the court as formal evidence.
What? Oh? Oh! Now hold it. Got me. That hit me suddenly. Give me a sec. I did a 2 sneeze. I double sneezed.
Please, my lord, if I may.
Mr. Sato?
It was not the defense's intention to admit the skin prints as formal evidence. We merely wish to present the results of the great detective's investigation of the scene as a tool by which to explain a possibility to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Yeah, it's not actual evidence in that sense.
And if the trial were to come to an end now, we should never learn the truth behind these mysterious handprints that everyone has now seen. I don't think we can allow that to happen. Not I'm sure the jurors would agree.
Oh.
You're right. Whether those strange handprints are a significant clue or not, it's down to us to decide. Juror number 3. Oh yes, I do declare the Great Detective's investigation results sound absolutely fascinating. And I want to hear what that shady actor fellow has to say about those shady handprints.
Oh, we only got 2 though, so that's not enough. So we did get jurors 2 and 3. What's the matter with you two? That was foolhardy.
Well, I did say it, didn't I? But I don't like to break a promise.
No, wait! You heard his lordship. It's not fair to think of evidence. Oh, we're even. What do we do now?
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. Just one more juror changes his or her mind. Mr. Natsume's trial will have to continue.
Thank you, Mrs. Sato, but I couldn't have done it without you.
Oh, no, it was you who identified the clue after all. This is very much your success.
He's nervous. Why, Mr. Shamsphere? You seem to be losing your composure.
Just one more juror, Mr. Naruhodo. You can do it.
Very well. Continue, counsel. It's even now. What do I do now? Yeah, because I can't even press. So it's between 1, 4, and 5. I'm gonna press for now. So maybe there's more statements. Evans, you say? That's right, and there's no room for doubt. It's all bringing a Japanese man with the big mustache. Says the Englishman with the bigger mustache. Yeah, I can't skip this text, so it's all new. But the defense just demonstrated our possible explanation for the events on the night in question. What do you make of that? What? Your so-called skin prints?
It's an exciting new forensic investigation technique, developed by the great detective himself.
The numerous handprints on the wall are clearly out of the ordinary. And if Mr. Shamsphere had indeed put his mouth to the gas pipe on the night in question, it can't be denied that there's a possibility that's where the poison was. Well, yes, I won't deny that it's playing on my mind. As the prosecution rightly says, you should pay no heed to unacceptable forms of evidence. And besides, yes, the fellow has been up to some mischief with the gas pipe dozens of times before. And it doesn't mean he got up to the same shenanigans on the night in question, does it? Oh. If you can't make your case better than that, I'm afraid I can't change my stance.
You do make a very valid point, sir.
What? That's true. Perhaps I was a little hasty. No, wait! Look, you got your chance here, haven't you? It's time to prove your theory. If you and your Japanese cohorts can, that is. Uh-oh. Just leave our nationality out of this, please.
Naruhodo, if we can't substantiate our position, I'm afraid the jurors that changed their minds before may very well change them back.
What can I do? Is there any more proof I can give here? Can I show that Mr. Shamsphere really did blow down the gas pipe on the night in question? The old, all right, supporting testimony. Yeah. Okay, supporting testimony. Yeah. No, in truth, I don't have evidence to support my theory. However, there is witness testimony that substantiates it. What's that? Testimony? This is incredible! Whose testimony? Yes, it's all connected. Everything is linked. A person whose testimony revealed details about the gas in the Gyaradev residence that night. Namely, Mr. Gyaradev himself.
Take that!
Well, Mr. Foreman, does that convince you? Woof. I don't think he was listening. Oh, wait, it's not? Oh. No, I have to put, Saseki's. Oh. We jumped ahead. Whoops. Because it was Natsume who said that he was choking that night. That's what it was, Naomi.
Hold it!
We were thinking wrong. It's not dumb, we didn't think about it correctly. Because he only talked about how the gas works. He didn't say that the gas flickered at some point. Like, it flickers whenever people turn it on and off and such, but because it has to distribute. But he wouldn't know that the gas was leaking that night, specifically. Yeah, important testimony. We're supposed to talk about Natsume.
Take that!
There we go. Obviously, I'm talking about the defendant. Mr. Soseki Natsume himself. The defendant? At the very beginning of the proceedings here in court yesterday, Mr. Nami said the following. Yeah, this. My lodgings! There's been a whole series of strange happenings in my lodgings! Even on that fateful night it happened. When I returned from Mr. Shamsier's room, I think my guest still had climbed into bed before long. The stove went out, and somebody tried to kill me! Yeah, that was the actual testimony. Gyarados didn't have testimony here. He's not a witness. On the night in question, the gas in the defendant's room went out. So I asked the court, what was that a mere coincidence or not? Golly! So that Shamspear fellow blew air into the gas pipe to make the man's stove go out on purpose? Oh, hold your horses there. What would he do that for? He's nervous. Drink water. Mr. Foreman. What is it, man? We cannot allow judgment to pass while this doubt remains. It's true that I don't have conclusive evidence yet. However, I must surely agree there is more to this case than meets the eye. Ah! Fair enough. Like I said at the outset, I'm a man of logic, first and foremost. Good man. Wait, what do you mean you're gonna take your frustration out on me? Ah! I can take all the cuddles, yes, yes. Oh, yeah. Just reading something quick. There we go. I was reading a chat briefly. I got distracted. As 4 jurors leaning towards not guilty, my lord, we've overturned the decision. Therefore, the defense calls for the trial to continue. Yeah, we did it. That was I like it was a little more complicated. As the defense has rightly indicated, the summation examination has concluded with a majority of jurors altering their decisions. 2 jury members now called guilty, 4 now called not guilty. Therefore, the jury's opinions conflict, and in accordance with the law of this land, I hereby order the continuation of this trial. We did it! but we get no more summation examinations. This is it. Mr. William Shamspeare.
My lord, how can thy humble Shamspeare serve thee? Serve thee.
What say you in response to the various revelations made during the summation examination?
So God mend me, I do solemnly swear. I recall aught of either the lamp or the pipe.
But your handprints made a tiny mess all over the wall there. How'd you explain that, eh? And now he tosses the bottle. I am done with this. The dignity of this great courtroom has been sullied enough already. Juror number 5. Who, me?
As I went to some pains to point out already,
Print from the self-professed detective's toy has no place in a British court of law. As such, whether or not this man did indeed stand before the gas lamp with his hands against the wall remains at this time unestablished conjecture. You would all do well to remember that.
Objection!
But the prosecution must concede that it would be extremely simple to verify. Just order the mouth and the gas pipe feeding that lamp into Mr. Shamroom's spear to be examined. If there are traces of poison there...
Objection!
What appears to be extremely SIPO is my Nipponese friend's mind. You will recall that in order to check for the presence of poison in the tea, some remnants of the tea were required. Yes. Therefore, it shouldn't be beyond your wit to imagine the ink of poison were to have been spread on the pipe. It would have completely evaporated by now, making any analysis impossible. I didn't think of that.
In any case, counsel, I fail to see what could possibly have motivated the man to do as you describe. Why on earth would this fellow have wanted to blow air into the gas pipework where he lived?
There's only one possibility that I can think of. And that is to use the leaking gas to commit murder. Oh, that is one thing to say.
Order! Order! Counsel! Precisely whose life do you propose this man was plotting to end?
The answer couldn't be simpler. Now we've unraveled the mystery this far. Mr. Shamspeare wanted to end the life of Soseki Natsume.
Take that!
If a gas lamp were to go out, it would be noticed immediately, of course. The gas stove, on the other hand, could be silently extinguished by the killer without anyone noticing. I live around those parts myself, so I know what it's like. And I can tell you, trying to sleep without the stove lit is pretty much suicide. You'd freeze to death in no time. Mr. Garrett, the landlord, has a large fireplace in his part of the residence on the top floor. In other words, it wasn't the landlord, but a fellow lodger whose life Mr. Shamspeare was trying to end. Outrageous! I'm talking, of course, about the defendant. Mr. Natsume isn't the villain in this case. He's the victim this man was trying to murder.
Good gracious!
Objection!
The accused is actually the aggrieved? Interesting. However, the fundamental facts of the case remain unchanged. Namely, that the accused is the aggressor here. What? How can you still claim that? Let us indulge our fancies for a moment and assume that there was indeed poison on the mouth of the gas pipe. The question that then arises is who put it there? Who did put it there? The only logical conclusion is that the person responsible was aware of this man's tricky with the gas supply and his intent to kill. Oh, I see where he's going with this.
Yes, that would seem logical. If the assailant were unaware, how would he or she have known to lace the end of the gas pipe with poison?
So now we must ask, how could anyone have known of Mr. Shamspeare's murderous designs?
You mean to suggest?
Naturally, the sole possible answer to that question couldn't be more obvious. only the man whose life was being threatened could possibly have known. What? In other words, the person who put the poison on the gas pipe in what was a clear retaliatory attack can only have been the accused, Mr. Seki Natsume. Ah! Uh-oh. Whatever Mr. William Shakespeare may or may not have contrived to do, he was nevertheless the victim of a potentially lethal poison attack. If she knew how he killed her lover? Oh, maybe. The letter? Well... Oh man, what a twist of fate that would be! If she did that? Oh. But wait, when would she have had a chance to do that? Because she was out for days. Detectives accused Mr. Natsume. The defense counsel's theorizing has failed to avert suspicion from the accused. Far from it. But in fact, now that a clear motive for the poisoning has been successfully established, that suspicion is greater than ever. Yeah, but how? I don't know. But then as soon as he... would you not agree, my Nipponiese friend? Ah! The thing is, no, the whole so it couldn't have been her, because the whole reason Saseki was in jail is because... No, the reason he went to jail the first time was because Miss Green got stabbed. That was the whole point of that first case. She had no time to actually put poison on there, and she was unconscious. So that wouldn't work at all. I don't know. I mean, it's possibly her, because she has that connection. How they managed to turn that around on me so rapidly. Sir, hold on, you must respond. Otherwise, the members of the jury may very well change their leanings against us again. And this may be our last chance to gain the advantage. What do we do? What advantage? Well, we've seen somebody put poison on the gas pipe in Mr. Shakespeare's room. So we must name that person now and absolve Mr. Natsume of guilt. You mean name the true culprit? It might sound impossible. If we fail to do that, I have no doubt that Mr. Natsume's fate will be sealed once and for all. As it happens, one possible culprit does come to mind. The evidence, the poison, it's all pointing to a particular person now. The prosecution called for the jury to consider their leanings again. I trust you'll make the correct choice this time. Yeah, the meter man fits best. I trust you'll make the correct choice this time, Mr. Foreman. What? Oh, don't you worry. You know exactly what... Let's go. There is one other person who I believe could have been involved in all this. True culprit of this crime. The true culprit? A term found only in second-rate novels featuring third-rate great detectives, my Nipponiese friend. But why not? This farce has gone on for so long already, I see no reason to cut it short before its disappointing climax. Thank you. Tell us, my learned Nipponiese friend, what is your latest theory? Who is the so-called true culprit of this crime? The fact that we still have green on here, like Fuseli. It is green. She had the letter. She still had the letter, the rest of the letter. So somehow she got in there. It's olive green. Because otherwise, why would the love letter be in her possession? I can't. That's wild. It's gotta be. If it's not her, it's the meter man.
Take that!
It's her. The name of the person responsible for the poison that afflicted Miss Shamspear is, I believe, Miss Olive Green.
Miss Olive Green? Miss Olive Green. I do feel as though I've heard that name in the recent past, Council, but I don't recall where.
Miss Olive Green? The woman from 6 days ago. Yeah. The victim in the recent case of stabbing on Briar Road. The incident for which Mr. Natsume was arrested, I hasten to add.
Oh, of course, yes. Miss Green. She was left comatose for some 3 days, I believe. She regained consciousness 2 days ago.
I hardly need to remind the court that Mr. Shamspear's poisoning took place 3 days ago. Given that the woman's lying comatose in the hospital bed at the time, she appears to have a rather fine alibi. True, on the night that the incident occurred, Miss Green was in hospital unconscious. So on the face of it, it would seem that she couldn't possibly be responsible, but still. My colleagues and I visited Miss Green in hospital yesterday. We found her to be in possession of a bottle of poison.
Good gracious, she had poison?
And there's another fact that links Miss Green to this case as well. The letter. The defense requests that she be brought to the witness stand in order to explain the details to the court.
Tell me, Mr. Shamspear.
My lord, pray, what be thy bidding?
Are you acquainted with Miss Green?
Eh? No, never heard of her. Ooh. That's revealing. He knows Miss Green, because he definitely killed, her lover. Her husband-to-be.
Just by look at Mr. Shamspear's face, I think perhaps he generally doesn't know her. At least, not by name.
As the voice of Her Majesty's prosecution here, I adhere to my word. We'll see my learned Nippy's friend's farce through to its conclusion. I appreciate that. The prosecution requests a short recess, my lord, in order to subpoena the witness and bring her here.
Yes, Miss Olive Green.
Indeed, my lord. 1 hour should be sufficient. Oh my goodness, we're on break.
Very well, I grant the request.
Excellent, I hope.
The defense has made a most extraordinary accusation, I must say.
Yeah, explains the envelope bend.
But at the present time, I feel the prosecution's argument remains largely uncontested. Accordingly, I'm afraid the defendant and his culpability remain the sole subject of this court's attention. Thank you, counsels. We reconvene in 1 hour. Court is adjourned.
Hey, we made it through one part of the trial. To be continued. Well, I'm not ending. We're finishing this trial today. I don't care how late I am. Yeah. Let's continue. Fog and go. Yeah, I'm doing this whole trial today. 11:32 a.m. That's wild. How long have I streamed? Naomi, my stream almost lasted as long as this trial currently. The game knows. Less than 2 hours. I'm almost 2 hours in. Oh no. It's self-aware. Like, literally, my stream is only, like, 7 minutes off. That's crazy. Yeah, 11:32 a.m. Joyful, jubilant, jumping jacks!
Oh, Mr. Natsume, I'm so pleased for you.
Locum students and Esquire, and now Locum Judicial System is Mikatoba Esquires. But the trial didn't no, this trial actually didn't start. The day 2 trial never began, Naomi.
Now, finally, at long last, it could be proof. Proof that I'm innocent and proof that my tea is innocent.
Okay. You sure appeared at a lovely time.
Ah, good morning, my dear fellows.
Ah, Herlock Sholmes!
May you drink my tepid tea and fall forever silent. I thought the tea was innocent. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you came. How wonderful.
Please save your division. I know what you're all thinking.
Good morning, he says, when it's really time for luncheon. Your scorn is written clearly across your faces. I said or thought anything of the sort. The truth is, I was sure that today would be the day. As sleep seduced me last night, I thought, tomorrow, for once, I shall not oversleep. I'll rise early and be present in court to support my companions. Such spirited determination has a beauty all of its own, does it not? Oh, yes! And then I began to muse on the subject. Why do people oversleep? I queried. Why, time after time, do they make the same foolish blunder? And the answer came to me at once. It's really simple. People oversleep because they sleep. Well, it's not astute insight into the matter. Oh, yes.
I mean, he's dummy, but he also makes good technology, to be fair. He's scientist smart, but not other ways smart.
Upon which realization, I attended an experiment. I didn't sleep a wink all night.
Oh.
He stayed up all night. And the results? My first night, I was exhausted and began to be assailed by fits of drowsiness.
Shocking.
And so, the conclusion of last night's experiment is this. A good night's sleep was quite simply essential. Yes, I think most of us probably knew that already. What others presuppose, I prove by experimentation. That, my dear fellow, is the scientific method.
Not wrong.
Ah, yes, and one more thing to remember this. Yes, of course, it's the poison ow, my tongue. It's the poison Miss Green was about to drink at the hospital yesterday. Oh, didn't manage to... It was a laborious task, because the bottle was near empty, but such inconveniences do not hinder Sholmes.
Oh! Good job, Sholmes. You tested it already.
I managed to confirm that it contains strychnine.
So I was right. So she wasn't going to poison herself. That was her evidence. She lied about her suicide attempt. Ooh, Miss Green. Little naughty.
Perhaps. Though of course such circumstantial evidence does prove Miss Green's guilt. I shall leave the bottle in your care now, but licking the inside of the neck is not recommended. I found the passage of Miss Green with traces of the slow-acting poison strychnine inside. Can I have a word?
Oh, can I have a word? Gregson, how good of you to come. Forget it. Excuse me. Oh, and he's gone. He's like, fuck this, I'm out of here. Just look at this. Wait a minute, Inspector. And he's back. I, don't wish to make a nuisance of myself. Look on your face, I'd say it's someone else who you think is making a nuisance of himself. My dear Inspector, please speak freely. Pretend I'm not here. Believe me, if I could do that, life would be a whole lot simpler for me.
Do you have the results, Inspector? Of the investigation in Mr. Shamsphere's room?
Not yet. Shouldn't be long now, though. No, I'm here about something else. That dead convict, actually.
Oh, you mean the man from this newspaper article we discovered yesterday in Mr. Shamsphere's room? A man by the name of, yes, Selden.
I went through the archives at the yard and dug out the fellow's file. There's something in there that, well, it caught my eye.
Something caught your eye? What, Inspector, what?
I've copied out the relevant parts for you, so you can read for yourselves.
Thank you. The capital offender's file has been entered into the court record.
Colonel Selden includes a newspaper article about him dying of illness in prison.
These documents include details that were in the newspaper cutting we found in Mr. Shamsphere's room. I'll arrange everything in the court records so we don't have duplicate information.
Oh, cool. Why are you giving us a copy of this important file, though? Oh, you're the ones who turned up the clue in the first place, aren't you? Just making sure things get handled in the proper fashion.
Oh, Scotland Yard's workings are so wonderful.
Indeed, my dear fellows. And the Inspector here is a shiny diamond in his crown. Shiny diamond? In the rough, maybe. Look, I just don't want to be beholden to a lawyer, that's all.
Well, I appreciate you doing that.
Counsel of defense and the defendant! Court proceedings are about to resume. Make your way into the courtroom at once. Well, I shall leave you then.
I'll be listening with interest from the public gallery.
Not nodding off at all. Certainly not.
Thank you, Mr. Sholmes.
I'm rather tired of seeing Mr. Mustache and flood to tears personally, so the best of luck to you.
Hello, Custodian, Mr. Nara. Hello, Esquire.
Yes, Mr. Natsume?
It's time, isn't it?
Yes, this is it. Miss Olive Green and Mr. William Shamsphere. This is going to be the final battle. Alright, next text. Alright, once we get out of this, I'm going to look at the court record again. I don't really have saved Soseki-san until I've exposed the whole truth of everything that's been going on. And it's all coming to a head now. You can do it, Ryunosuke. You have to. I just can't believe the first case is actually linked to the second case. This is wild. 12:30 p.m. Like, wow. Alright, so I'm gonna read this first. Okay, yeah, so yeah, a couple of the pieces of evidence are gone. Okay. 18 counts of burglary, 6 counts of suspected murder. Died of natural causes while in prison. His final moments witnessed only by his cellmate. The estimated 1,000 pounds worth of loot he stole remains uncovered. Manchester's Strangeway Prison announced the death of convicted murderer and burglar Selden by natural causes in the early hours this morning. He had been suffering with fever since the end of October. Alerted by the shouts of his fellow cellmate, medical staff arrived to find him already dead before his capital punishment could be carried out. If Shamsphere was, how did he get out of prison? That's the question. So we don't know anything yet there. This is the poison we've been hearing so much about. Strychnine. There are a few remnants on the bottom of the bottle here, look.
Must be tempted to try it.
Of course not, as long as we don't lose this trial. Don't joke like that!
No, even if we lose the trial. No, we mustn't lose the trial in the first place, Mr. Naruhodo.
Make up your minds, Sato-san. Nothing else. Okay. I mean, that's a possibility, but I don't know yet.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again now. Before the recess, we heard the most startling accusation for the defense. Namely, that the victim of the case we heard here only a few days ago is the true perpetrator of this incident.
A reckless, rash, and prejudiced charge of wrongdoing in my opinion, my lord. However, the prosecution has tried to extend every courtesy to this amateur newcomer from dubious eastern shores. Thank you for that backhanded consideration.
A rather cold assessment from the honorable British prosecutor, I must say. So, Lord Van Zix, is the new witness present and ready to take the stand?
Ready and waiting in the witness's antechamber, my lord.
Well, bailiff, bring the witnesses in.
Okay, good, it's both of them. I was hoping so. Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court, please.
William Shakespeare, my liege. For mine occupation, I can say only that I be a tragic victim, to be pitied.
Currently unemployed, in other words.
I'm Olive Green. I'm a fledgling artist. Well, no. Not a fledgling, really. Almost failures 2 weeks period in which she has no talent, I suppose.
Also currently unemployed, in other words. What a coterie. Coterie?
Mr. Shakespeare? My lord, I am thy humble servant. I'm afraid that you are no longer merely the victim in this affair. The possibility has now been raised that you are in fact the assailant, intent on taking the life of your fellow lodger. The part you have played in this whole business will be thoroughly scrutinized, I assure you. I would for naught else, my lord. And Miss Green? Yes? You are aware of the reason you've been summoned to this courtroom today, I presume? Yes. The officer did explain. He said I poisoned this ridiculous buffoon.
Alright, I like what she's doing with the paint. And, do you accept the charge, Miss Green?
I don't know anything about any poisoning. And I don't know anything about this man. Come, lady. Die to live. Verily, I know not thy prickly pea-pigmented personage. But those two met. Very well, let's proceed with the matter at hand. That being to ascertain whether or not Miss Green has any involvement in this affair. That's all very strange. Very strange indeed. Why would you suspect me? I barely ever go to the East End anyway. So it happens I passed by that neighborhood 6 days ago. That's all. On the night that this man was poisoned, I was still in hospital, fighting for my life.
Yes, I've been unfortunately caught up in the incident on the street outside the Garadep household. The incident rendered you unconscious for some 3 days.
I was struck in the middle of my back by a knife. Through no fault of my own, and now I'm under suspicion? What other irrelevant things might I be suspected of? It's all very disturbing. Your energies may be better spent worrying about the random knife attacks, I feel, Miss Green.
At this point in time, all that appears to connect you with Mr. Shamsier's lodging is the Briar Road incident of 6 days ago. That's why we would like you to testify formally now about exactly what happened.
Oh no! The incident 6 days ago? You mean you want me to relive that awful accident?
We never did hear her testimony before. This makes sense. Unfortunately, yes. Please tell the court what happened that day. And of course, we will be interested to hear from you about your movements that day too, Mr. Shamspear. Eh? But what happened 6 days ago has nothing to do with me being poisoned. Ooh. Maybe Shamspear stabbed Green.
Let us proceed then. The witnesses will present their formal testimony to the court. On the subject of the incident that took place on Briar Road the evening of the 17th of February.
Okay.
It was 6 days ago, about 5 p.m. I was walking along in the snow when I was suddenly stabbed in the back. Coincidentally, it happened to be just outside the house where the men in this case have their lodgings. I was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speakest, for I had bespoke my supper. It was the first time I'd been in the area. I was mad to attend to, that's all. Anyway, I was admitted straight to hospital, so I knew nothing about all of this business.
Was she going to meet up with Shamspear?
Yes, a second incident said a week of what I believe to aptly described as the haunted lodgings. We can only presume this is the most unfortunate coincidence.
Yeah, I mean, didn't she say there was evidence about what happened to, her lover? That was the whole point of luring her? Meanwhile, you say you were not in your room, Mr. Shamspear?
'Twas the following morn when I did awaken that I learned of the dire events. Mary! What a commotion did the officers of the law make on the floor above mine!
Seki-san was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. As suspected, there was nothing connecting these two witnesses but happenstance. It's true, it does seem as though they're unrelated at first glance. But I'm not so sure. There's something lurking in the shadows here. I feel certain of it. And this is my one and only chance to expose it.
Counsel, you may now cross-examine these two witnesses if you wish.
Yes, my lord. Okay. So I'm going to look at the evidence here to see what I can do. So this is where it happened. It only has the books. Oh, the newspaper clipping basically got sorted with the capital offenders file because it was conflicting. It was basically duplicate information. Like part of the newspaper clipping was a duplicate of this. So it's better organized. That's all. Okay. Guess we'll press for now because I don't actually have the evidence.
Hold it!
Maybe the one will react to the other. Okay, in the case, I'm sorry you had to go through that. Yeah, see, he might react.
It was awful. I still can't believe I was unconscious for so long. And I woke up to find that the case had been solved and the culprit arrested.
Yes, the incident has been resolved already. Perhaps it would help you to consider it a bad dream that ended with your awakening, and should now be forgotten.
Yes, I suppose so. Thank you.
But before you put it completely behind you, Miss Green, you need to remember the details one last time. You must tell the court exactly what happened that day, for us to arrive at the truth about this new case.
The trouble is, there's nothing to tell, really. was just walking along the pavement. Doesn't it happen to be just outside the house? Yes.
Hold it!
What were you doing there that day, though?
What do you mean?
The art school you attend. What's it called?
Yes. It's the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts. According to Mr. Sholmes, that's just in the vicinity of Brixton Road. Just some 10 stops away from the scene on the underground.
I believe you mentioned before they also live on Brixton Road. Isn't that right? So why then would you have been walking along Briar Road in the middle of the East End?
Well, it's because, oh yes, of course. I thought I might make a nice picture.
The witness is a student of art. The dwelling artist can't all paint grand urban visits.
That's right. I happen to like the crumbly look of that part of town.
Quick painting.
Perhaps quaint would have been a less grating term.
Point is, she's definitely hiding something.
Yes, it seems she's not going to be forthcoming with the truth.
Vistas. She's trying to hide why she was there that evening. Must mean there's a reason for her not wanting us to know. That's the key to this. And you, Mr. Shamspear. Well, the evening of the incident 6 days ago. Would you tell the court what exactly you were doing?
'Twould be my pleasure, sire. I was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speakest, for I had bespoke my supper.
Hold it!
Are you gonna give up where you ate? Tavern, you say? Which one?
'Twas the Slug and Salad where I did tarry. 'Tis a jewel in the East End.
And a little unexpected, I feel. What do you mean, Lord Von Zeeks? The Slug and Salad offers unusually fine dining. For the locality, at least. Not an establishment you expect to be patronized by a man with not even a crumb of bread in his room. Ooh, get burned.
It's true, the menu lists premium crusts of bread and glasses of water. In different levels of cloudiness.
I would expect a grubbery in the local vicinity be more appropriate for your means. Watery soup and mushy peas, or rather soupy water and pea like mush. Blech. Gross. All equally appetizing.
I just want to try some water in a different pub for once. What's wrong with that? How different can water really be? Or perhaps there's a more plausible explanation. A specific reason why he had to go to that particular establishment.
Agreed. The fact that on the day of all days he dined at a place he wouldn't normally does stand out. So Mr. Chancellor's own actions on the day of the incident 6 days ago were slightly suspicious. I wonder if we have some evidence that can explain those actions. We don't have the letter. So for now, I don't think we have evidence. Yeah, we don't. So not at the moment. Wish we did, but sadly I can't think of anything at the moment.
If we find a clue that can explain why Mr. Chancellor went there, we must present it to the court.
Yes, absolutely. If that is all on this matter, Counsel, I would ask Miss Green to reiterate her next statement. Yeah, we gotta go on for now. First time I've been in the area, I had a little matter to attend to, that's all.
Hold it!
This should do it. What little matter, Miss Green? Please elaborate.
It was nothing really. It's not worth mentioning.
And if you remember, you mentioned it to us yesterday at the hospital. It was related to the card you were holding. Miss Green. What was that? She clearly just hid something behind her back. From memory, I believe the card contained a note that read, "I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross."
What does that matter?
What?
Ah, this has nothing to do with Duncan.
Wait. What was the guy's name? Selden. And Duncan. It's nothing to do with Duncan? Oh.
Excuse me.
You know the name. Mr. Shamsphere, do you have something to share with the court?
To be or not to be, that is the question. Ah, pray forgive me. The great bard's words springeth from within me with no thought.
Don't tell me. It's because you're possessed by Shakespeare's spirit, right? Hearing Miss Green's words a moment ago seemed to make you think of something. Something of relevance, perhaps?
Well, nay, sire. 'Twas nothing at all.
Presumably you know the name, though. Mr. Duncan Ross, I mean. After all, you were both lodgers in the same house. Yup.
It would so, but sadly nay. Lodging be a lonely occupation, sire. My lodging fellows be rarely known to me.
So you haven't heard of him, even though he passed away in the room just one floor above yours? Oh, gotcha!
Miss Green? Me, my lord? Have I done something wrong?
The card that was mentioned before contained a note. Do you have it upon your person?
I do, yes. But I don't need it anymore. In fact, I should throw it away, really.
Before you dispose of it, the court will take it as evidence, please. There we go. Now we got the card. Let's meet with someone who claims to have information about Duncan Ross. Of course, that's what links Mr. Shamsphere and Miss Green. It's Duncan Ross. Now, continue with your testimony, please, Miss Green. Went straight to hospital, so I knew nothing about all this. Alright, we can go back. And the end was, end was in his room. So for now, we just gotta press. Got it. Just gotta skip this bit. I love it when the notes, when the chimes go down, when they have lower notes. Mr. Shamsphere.
Yes, sire?
On the day in question, is it not the case that you visited the Slug and Salad, a place you don't normally patronize, for a very particular reason?
I don't know what you're talking about. Pray, if thou hast some purpose, speakest.
Very well, I'll present the court with evidence. Evidence that explains why you had to be at the Slug and Salad that day. Namely... let me just check it quick. The envelope has been ripped open rather carelessly, hasn't it? This Green strikes me as the type to open correspondence more neatly than that. Ah! What is it? The way the envelope was torn, I'm almost sure I've seen that exact same shape somewhere else.
Oh, you don't mean... You think of this piece of evidence, Mr. Naruto?
Exactly, that's it. Trying to match them up. Oh, now we're doing the matching.
They go together perfectly. This torn off envelope clearly belongs with this card.
Oh, okay. If it's probably a torn off piece found at the scene of the crime. Oh, okay. It fits perfectly with the envelope in Miss Green's possession. Okay, was that it? Just to make sure. So we did have to do that at least. Present!
Take that!
I believe this card reveals the answer.
Good lord, Miss Green's card, you mean?
That's right, my lord. It reads, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Oh. Mr. Chancellor, your actions on the afternoon of Miss Green's stabbing are exactly as described in this note. Gotcha! And the stabbing either was planned or it ruined hurt his plans. Personally, I find it hard to believe that's a coincidence. Don't you, Mr. Shamspeare?
Well... Excuse me? Can I say something?
Yes, Miss Green?
That card was delivered to me. It doesn't have anything to do with this odd man, does it?
Well, you'd think so, yes, but it's hard to believe it's merely...
My lord, may I?
May you what, Miss Green?
I'd like to make something very clear about that card.
Oh, more testimony?
Very well, then you may amend your testimony to include details about the peculiar note.
Oh, okay, just amending. This note was delivered to me at my address. It's nothing to do with the odd man next to me here. I'm gonna press for now. She did get stabbed by a falling knife, but yeah. Let's just see. I think it was just inconvenient. Like, the knife stabbing was not part of his plan at all. And it just happened to occur. Yeah, it's more of an inconvenience that happened. I'm gonna press.
Hold it!
I'm not sure to present it yet. I think you said you received it the day before the incident, didn't you?
Yes, that's right.
There appears to be no indication of the sender's name or address on the envelope.
It was in my letterbox, and that's all I know. I'm afraid. I have no idea who sent it.
I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Who is this Duncan Ross, please?
A friend of mine. He attended the same art school as I do. He passed away in a tragic accident a month ago now, though. I wasn't sure what to make of that note, to be honest. But in the end, I decided to go.
So you found out what the information was?
Of course I didn't. You're not thinking straight.
Else on her way there, she was stabbed in the back. As my learned friend hopefully remembers. Ah, yes, of course. She never made it to the meeting. Lovely there. It's worked out well, hasn't it? Oh, a new clue at last. Alright, now I need to pull off a really insightful objection somewhere. She broke in and got a hold of it? Why would it get sent to Sham, though, if it was Duncan Ross that died? See a new angle. I wonder if you should perhaps try to develop that. Yes, of course. And yelling out objections isn't necessarily the best way to do that, I suppose. I'm gonna present the other piece.
Objection!
Ah, okay, it was the other piece. The day before the incident, exactly 1 week ago now, this note was delivered to your address. Upon carrying out the instructions in the note, you found yourself in hospital.
Yes, I did. It's terrible, everything that's happened to me.
Yes, it is terrible. If it's all true, that is. Ah, maybe she did steal it.
What do you mean? Miss Green, have a look at this, please. It's the torn off end of an envelope. Oh, is it? And it so happens that it fits together perfectly with the envelope of the note you received. Where did you find that? In Mr. Shamspeare's room. In my room? Mr. Shamspeare, do you perhaps remember this note from somewhere? Well... Your actions this afternoon follow the instructions in the note to the letter. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on 17th. So that's exactly where you went. Think she was going to interrupt? Maybe? But how would she have got... How would she know anything about it at that point? Well, let me ask you again, Mr. Shamspeare. You already knew about this note, didn't you? And you, Miss Green. What did I do? As this torn off end of the envelope proves, the note was originally Mr. Shamspeare's room. So how is it that it came to be in your possession? I don't have the first idea. I'm just a fledgling artist, after all. There's only one explanation. You broke into Mr. Shamspeare's room and stole it. Oh, really did steal it. I don't think it would have been blackmail. So, in that case, who was it that sent the letter to Shamspeare in the first place? That's the real question here. Who sent the letter to Shamspeare? You did what? Sorry, You did what? Sorry, thou hast what? You broke... I mean, thou were in my room? What on earth do you want with me? Oh, yeah, he had no idea. We got, a very complicated situation. It would seem that both witnesses need to testify again. Miss Green? Yes? Whilst you have the court's sympathy, I'm sure, for the suffering you endured in recent events, anyone found to be giving false testimony in a court of law will be duly punished. Please bear that in mind. Yes, I know. That's a creepy that's unintentionally creepy pose, just face down the other way. Very well then, witnesses. You will give formal testimony. I don't know. There's so much going on here. I don't know what's the case. Well, you again know. On the subject of this curious anomaly regarding the note Miss Green claims to have received. I know there's too many strings. The anomaly of the note. I do remember now. 'Twas a week ago, peradventure, that note was delivered unto me. Delivered. On the day writ therein, I did tarry a long hour at Slug and Cellar till nobody came. Oh, interesting. Thereafter, on the evening, I shared the company of the Japanese fellow. On the evening I shared the company of the Japanese fellow, I did see the note had vanished. I don't know what you mean. You think I snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I? I can point out the villain here. And as for that turn-off piece of envelope, I don't know anything about it. You don't claim to receive this letter, do you, Mr. Shamspeare? Faith, 'tis so, my lord. And I would swear to have set it upon the table in my humble lodgings. Yet, 'tis clear to me now that since I returned from the tavern at night, I have not laid eyes upon it. Well, that being the case, young lady, it would appear that your testimony was... A lie? Is that what you think? Who for you to think I'm the one lying?
I beg your pardon?
I'm just a fledgling artist, as I said. Fledgling artists don't lie. That note was delivered to me in my address, besides. We all know who the liar around here is. If that's true, Miss Green, how do you explain the facts? This part of the envelope was, without question, found in Mr. Shakespeare's room. I don't see why I should explain.
Sorry?
I'm a fledgling artist. My job here is just say what happened, that's all. It's your job to give the explanations and the proofs. You, the fledgling lawyer.
Wow.
Wow, you just shut me down. The fledgling will do his best. Evidently, my learned friend's cross-examinations are only hope of learning the truth.
Well, counsel?
Well, at least with this, Von Seeks isn't really fighting me on this, so he's letting me let me do cross-examinations and such. So it's not bad, it's not bad. Ready, my lord.
Very well then, the defense will now proceed the cross-examination of the witnesses.
Mr. Summer clearly did break into Mr. Shakespeare's room. There could be no question of that. And that's how she acquired the note. Yes, two facts that are starting to lead me to a possible explanation for all this. And it's not a pretty one. So we know the other thing. This picture was in Shakespeare's room. It was in that group of stuff that was together. It was this, the article, and a box that had nothing in it. Did the box potentially have this poison?
Hold it!
It's crazy how we're going from attacking Shakespeare, now we're attacking Green. And Shakespeare's testimony is what's helping us. It's kind of wild. And can you shed any light on the contents of the note at all?
Nay, sire, 'tis as strange to me as a foreign tongue. Even with the knowledge of literature as great as mine own, verily, 'tis impenetrable.
But Mr. Duncan Ross had lodgings in the same household as you. In fact, he was your neighbor, so surely you knew him, didn't you?
Alack, if the choice is betwixt I knew him and I knew him not, then 'tis with foreboding that I be forced to declare we were by some small measure acquainted.
Despite your claims, though, you followed the note's instructions and went to the Slug and Salad. Assuming that was nothing to do with your knowledge of literature?
Marry, naught will have the better of me, sire, save for the lurid curiosity. So 'tis true, I was compelled by mine own eager heart to betake myself to the tavern. Yet in the end, my curiosity was not satiated. On the day writ therein, I did tarry a long hour at the Slug and Salad, yet nobody came.
Oh, wait. Oh. Wrong one.
Hold it!
Need press. After waiting for an hour, nobody appeared?
Well, yes, sire, 'tis as thou sayest.
Really? He paused for a moment before he answered. Oh?
In truth, when thou asked whether nobody appeared, I did suddenly recall.
Really? You mean to tell the court that somebody did appear after all?
I was not alone that night in the Slugget Salad, my lord, no. It is returning to me now. I did treat my lips to almost clear water, and my innards to a premium crust of bread. Hug the Yuna, and all around me danced a great many companions.
What do you mean?
Flies, sire, flies!
Bruh.
This man's only friends are a bunch of flies. How sad.
Good lord!
In the name of Beelzebub, what were they? Fairies, perchance, from a Midsummer Night's Dream, come to taunt me? I think they were just flies. I can't help thinking the flies ought to choose something more wholesome to buzz around. Is that wrong of me?
Oh, jeez. Alright. In the company of the Japanese fellow, I did see the note had vanished. Oh, did it? Oh yeah, I do see a little bit of dropped frames, but I think that was just a blip. All is good on my end. On the eating and share the company of Japanese fellow, I did see the note had vanished.
Hold it!
What exactly did his notice that had gone missing?
Such idle thoughts now occupy my mind. I am busy with greater ideas.
In other words, didn't notice.
Several days passed between your outing to the tavern and Miss Nancy's visit to your room.
Yes, it would appear that the note disappeared sometime in that interval.
Such idle thoughts now occupy my mind. I am busied with greater ideas.
And yet during that time, Miss Green was comatose in hospital, was she not? Clearly then, she could not have been stealing things from Mr. Shakespeare's room.
Yes, of course. It's all some sort of misunderstanding. Isn't it, Mr. Prosecutor, sir?
He doesn't believe that. You have so far failed to give us satisfactory explanations how you came by the note.
Oh, he's on our side.
I am not here to advocate for defense, madam. I won't tolerate inconsistencies in your story. You would do well to remember that.
Oh, dearie me.
What's Lord Von Zeke's getting at?
You think I snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I?
Hold it!
It seems that this note was actually delivered to Mr. Shakespeare about 1 week ago.
Oh, does it?
But for some reason, it ended up in your possession. I can't think of any way that could have happened except for you breaking into Mr. Shakespeare's lodgings.
Objection!
For what reason would the witness have done that?
I
won't deny that Mr. Green's possession of that note would appear to defy logic. However, until and unless her involvement in this case can be proven some other way, any further pursuit of this note is meaningless.
Miss Green could only have come to be in possession of the note by stealing it from Mr. Shakespeare's room. And yet, there's no obvious reason why she would have done such a thing.
What if there's some other reason she broke into his lodgings, though?
Yes, we should pursue that idea, Mr. Naruhodo.
Well, we're close now. I can feel it. So close to a breakthrough. This?
Objection!
Nope. Number of ways? Oh.
I guess...
Encourage her to try and kill him? Okay, so I guess I'll I'm gonna press this one and see if we get anything. So you don't want to tell the court the truth about the letter, is that it?
I'm a fledgling artist, remember? Artists are nearly always introverted characters. Introverted? Wait, this fledgling doth readily cast aspersions about my nature. Yet I am an angel, a seraph. Birds do harmonize with my song. The wind doth frolic on my wing. Oh, pity, wherefore dost thou accuse one of so pure at heart, ample woman? What is this dance? Pure of heart? I don't think so. Even a fledgling like me could see you're just a failure. Oh. Tragedy! Thou shalt not know the true heart of an artist until thine instruction hereafter by death. Oh, the days, oh, the years, all last to enlighten thee. Thou must wait so long and in vain. Sir Hono, introduce some clever remark. This is your chance to shine. I'm no Shakespearean actor, Mr. Sato. No, as far as I can tell, the only thing that's going to resolve this argument is evidence. Yes. I need to present evidence on the last part. Depends. Isn't it? That's where she found this letter. Yes, 2 more or less foregone conclusions lead me to one terrifying conclusion. Terrifying? Yes, I'm afraid to say the outcome of this cross-examination may well change how we look at this case completely. Alright, so I have to present evidence on the last one.
Hold it!
Oh, shit, I didn't mean to press again. Whoops, sorry. I meant to do court record. Oh, I can just hold circle. Okay. That's better. Now do I present this?
Objection!
No? I don't know what I'm supposed to present. Do I present the poison now? Hold on. I'm gonna make emergency save just in the case. In case something goes horribly wrong.
Objection!
Oh, the poison there. Okay. It was the other statement I had to present evidence. I was on the wrong one. Because they mentioned that. This is the reason. Yesterday at the hospital, we saw you with this bottle. And though the contents spilled during the course of our meeting, a small quantity remained. Ah! According to the defense's independent analysis, Mr. Jones' chemistry set, the liquid that was still in the bottle was identified as strychnine. What? Strychnine? Very same poison afflicted Mr. Shamspear. Huh? Miss Green, you broke into this man's lodgings. For one reason and one reason alone. To cover the end of the pipe that feeds the gas lamp in Mr. Shamspear's room with poison. Oh, look at Shamspear! Look at... hold on. Look at him! He is pissed! He had no idea! All this time, he was dead set on it being a Natsume. Look at the stare. That's wild. Can this be? You broke into my room to... It may seem incredible to the court, but from the remaining clues, there's only one logical conclusion that we can reach. The person who attempted to take Mr. Shamspeare's life with poison was you, Miss Olive Green.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear me.
Oh, there goes all the paint. That's a mess. Oh, she is upside down. We don't need to see the pantyhose. Order! Order! Counsel, are you seriously suggesting this woman put poison on the end of the gas pipe with intent to kill?
Yes, my lord. There's no other way to explain the facts.
But if Miss Green did indeed set this odious trap 6 days ago, and the victim had put his mouth to the pipe that very evening as expected, the attempted murder would have happened 6 days ago, surely?
Well, that's a very good point.
Perhaps not, my lord. Yeah, he wouldn't have done it because that's the same day Natsume got arrested. I beg your pardon? There was a significant police presence in the area that evening, on account of the incident on Briar Road. Yup, and the police. Local residents were being interviewed throughout the night as part of the ongoing inquiry. Circumspect criminal would likely have chosen not to carry out any wrongdoing at that time. Lord Van Zeeks.
Of course, the following morning, there's more activity in Mr. Shamspeare's address.
More activity? Ah, yes! You mean his fellow lodger, Mr. Natsume, being arrested on suspicion of murder.
That's right. As the defense has already proposed, Mr. Shamspeare was meddling with the gas in the pipe for a very sinister reason himself. To cause the gas stove in Mr. Natsume's room to go out, thereby asphyxiating the occupant.
But once Mr. Natsume had been arrested, his room was under constant surveillance by the police. In the circumstances, Mr. Shamspeare had no reason to blow air into the gas pipe. The intended victim being in a prison cell. The need to tamper with the gas removed, the poison on the pipe lay dormant.
And then, 3 days ago now, the situation changed again.
Right. Mr. Natsume's trial, which took place here at the Old Bailey, came to an end. The key.
Oh, you think so?
That would link her. I didn't even think about the key. I honestly barely even noticed that. The trial in which the man stood accused of stabbing Miss Green in the back was duly acquitted. I mean, yeah, maybe. It resulted in Mr. Natsume returning to his lodgings for the first time in 2 days. And that very night, his gas stove mysteriously went out and Mr. Shamspeare was mysteriously poisoned. In conclusion, the poison that was present on the mouth of the gas pipe had been put there in the victim's room some 4 days earlier. Memory! Yeah, so many strings. With that new understanding, it was clear that this lair was all part of the plan. What plan? The court will recall that the note gave instructions to visit the Slug and Salad at 5 o'clock, and that the recipient should tell nobody else. The reason for those instructions are now clear. To ensure that the lodger would not be at home at the stated time. To make sure I wasn't home? So Shamspeare's... he's an attempted murderer / potential murderer, and also a victim at the same exact time. Maybe. Exactly. While you were out, Miss Green could safely slip into your room, knowing that she wouldn't be disturbed.
You mean to say that letter?
It was written by Miss Green, yes. In order to cover her tracks, she took it away with her when she left. But just after she smeared poison over the mouth of the gas pipe in your room. This is wild. I can't believe the two cases are actually linked. Order! Order! What do you have to say for yourself, witness? Uh-oh.
Just who are you? Why did you try to kill me?
Miss Green's motive should be obvious. It's all tied up with someone whose name we've heard several times already during the course of this trial. So that's what's behind all this. You will share your apparent understanding with the court, please, counsel. Which person is behind this woman's motive for the attack on the victim's life? Duncan Ross.
Take that!
Duncan Ross. That's right. Before the defendant, Mr. Natsume, took up residence in lodgings of Mr. Garadev's, somebody else was renting the room. Mr. Duncan Ross. I knew I'd heard the name somewhere else. It was all over the papers a month ago, when the man died in strange circumstances at the haunted lodgings.
That does ring a vague. Oh, of course, yes, I remember now. Young man they claimed was strangled by the convict's curse or some such.
Sadly, my lord, it wasn't a curse of any kind, nor was it an accident. The man died as a result of Mr. Shamsphere blowing into the gas pipe and causing gas to leak into the room. It was murder, plain and simple. So we got a murder and an attempted murderer in this witness group. Ah! Uh-oh.
Well, you know, the world is so unfair. Curses creates debts. That's all people care about. If it's an interesting story, they want to know. It doesn't cross their minds that real people are involved. And once they're bored, just 1 month later, once the story's lost its appeal, everyone's forgotten him. You mean you? Duncan was...
Mr. Ross was Miss Green's fiancé.
Fiancé?
You may not have known until now who Miss Green really is, Mr. Shamsphere. But she's known exactly who you are all along. Because you're her sworn enemy. The murderer who took the life of the man she was to marry.
Marry?
Miss Green, is it not the case that in order to exact revenge on Mr. Shamsphere, you smeared poison over the end of the gas pipe? Oh, she's looking more sad in that angle.
This is all quite extraordinary. Am I correct in my understanding that you now accuse both parties, counsel? Each on different counts of murder?
Yeah, she has a box because she's small. Yes, my lord, that's correct.
Objection!
Inhaling so deeply, it appears that my fledgling learned friend has taken in a lungful of dubious gases, causing his judgment to be clouded. What? Why would Mr. Shamsphere have wanted to kill these lodgers, as you say? You have completely failed to provide a motive to substantiate your accusation against the man.
Yes, that's right, Mr. Reaper, my liege. I have been slighted. 'Tis lies, all lies, I deny every utterance.
And you'll have to forgive me, Mr. Naruhodo, sir.
But I don't intend to admit to anything, either. Miss Green, I'm sure you'll think I'm being very rude, but I'm not going to be sent to the gallows for the likes of this scoundrel.
Objection!
But you broke into the man's room. If you didn't do it to smear poison on the pipe, what was your reason?
I thought I'd have to look around, that's all.
Sorry?
You're right, I suspected him. So I thought perhaps I might find some evidence or something in his room.
He's still jumping around.
And then said it was him who took Duncan's life. Oh vileness, oh villainy, oh tyranny, oh rotundity of woman. But in any case, whenever I leave my room, I do turn the key in the lock. Now the place is falling apart. The locks on the doors are no different. Doc has shown me once how to unlock the door with some turps and a piece of wire. Oh, awfulness, oh, artfulness, oh, tyranny, oh, profanity of woman! We will consider your trespassing on some future occasion. But for now, tell the court what you found, what evidence your search revealed. Okay, I guess... How would she know that he would have been blowing through the pipe? We need to figure out how she would even know that, to begin with. Well, I spotted the note that I'd sent him lying on the floor. When I went to pick it up, I noticed something. One of the floorboards was loose, and underneath it, I discovered a secret hiding place. Eh? Uh-oh. Yes, we also discovered that hiding place. Inside we found newspaper cutting, a photograph, and an empty tin box. Yes, well the thing is, when I found it, the box wasn't empty. What? There was something in it? So I think the key, I don't know what the key is for. In that case, because she's admitting there was something in the box. Yes. Oh, the key itself was in the box. Huh. But what is the key for? Because it was just one lonely key inside the box, so... Why? It's a rather nice key. Ah! What are you doing with that? Oh, you think it unlocks the stash? What the? Every ounce of color is drained from his face. Give it here! Give it to me now! It's mine! I inherited it! What was that, witness? What did you say? You inherited it? Ah! No, What's all this about? He inherited that key? It was obviously important to you since you'd gone to such lengths to hide it, so I took it. I don't know what it's for, but you took something precious from me. I took something precious from you. So what if it means you can't open something now? I don't care. Alright, I like green. I like green for this reason. It's like, fuck you. You took my fiance, I'm just gonna take this fucking key. I don't care what you want it for. I like green for that. Give it back this minute! Give it to me! Come yourself, witness. Mr. Shanspeare has tried and in one case succeeded to take the life of 2 lodgers now. Yes, his motive for doing so is the key to everything that's happened. It's true that there appears to be no motive to support the accusations against Mr. Shanspeare. At first. But considering everything we know now, I think there's actually something that could explain it. What? I need to recall every piece of evidence at our disposal. Everything we've seen and heard. Because I'm sure that I just caught a glimpse of the link that runs through all of these events. That case comes up, I must really present evidence to the court in support of your claim. What is it that you say can explain the motivation for Mr. Shanspeare's alleged crimes? I have to assume it's the case file.
Take that!
That's an official police report, is it not? The Selden file? How did you get a hold of that? Selden? Oh, he knows Selden. He was definitely the cellmate then. The now sadly deceased Mr. Ross and the defendant Mr. Natsume have only one thing linking them. The fact that they had lodgings in the same room. Well, yes, we know this certainly. A room that was formerly occupied by Selden. Until, that is, he was arrested by Scotland Yard for his involvement in multiple burglaries. Okay, if he was arrested, then I don't think
the cellmate is Shamspear.
I see.
And so happens that the convict Selden left behind one very substantial mystery when he died. The sum 1,000 pounds worth of loot that he stole, which as yet remains to be found.
Oh, yes, of course. It's coming back to me now. It's written in this file here.
1,000 pounds lost en route to hell. That was how the paper summed it up. And it seems that one particular fellow inmate was with the convict in his final moments. It's not hard to imagine Selden trusting that inmate with his most closely guarded secret. The location of the stolen loot, and perhaps a key to unlock whatever container the valuables were in. Or maybe he really was the cellmate. Never mind. Oh right, because Shamspear only moved in 3 months before. Never mind, yeah. He is the cellmate. Because he only moved in 3 months beforehand. And so he killed Duncan in order to get there, but then suddenly you got Natsumi coming in.
You mean this key is...
Mr. Shamspear, it was you, wasn't it? You were at the capital offender's side when he died, were you not?
What are you talking about? 'Tis a false charge, I tell you, a false charge.
The name of the inmate who was with Selden in his death isn't noted in this file. A simple telegram to the prison where he died would quickly tell us how false the charge really is.
But even if it's true, why would the man be so intent on killing every subsequent occupant of the convict's lodgings?
There's only one explanation for that, my lord. It was in that very room that Selden hid his loot. So it all comes out. Yes, and having established that, all of Mr. Shamspear's subsequent actions start to make perfect sense. When he was left out of prison following Selden's death, he made immediately for Mr. Garrett's lodgings in the hopes of renting Selden's old room. And he was adamant about being offered that room and couldn't get it. However, the retired army man was unable to offer him the accommodation of his choice. Because Selden's old room had already been let to somebody else, Mr. Duncan Ross. Which is why Mr. Shamspear successfully devised his gas-based plot to kill the occupant of the room. And when he was successful, he presumably intended to inquire about switching it to the newly vacant room. However, a certain jittery someone had beamed him to it.
Just a second, Natsume. The defendant of this case, no less.
So you decided to use the ploy with the gas again, didn't you, Mr. Shamspear? This time to oust Mr. Natsume. All for one simple and avaricious reason. To get your hands on the 1,000 pounds of loot left behind by a dead convict. Oh, he is slunched over, so that's the truth.
Looks like I'm gonna snuff it before they get to stretch me neck. Listen, I want you to have me loot. Anything to stop the coppers getting their mitts on it. It's hidden in the room where I was lodging when they got me. This is the key to it. Take it.
You really did, Naomi. Good job.
Always stay one step ahead, mate. See you in L, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, that's just how... More practice. Hey, you didn't do bad.
It's mine.
What did you just say?
It's mine. That loot is mine.
Oh! Oh, he's crazy. Uh-oh. But Mr. Shamspear?
It's all lies. I don't accept any of it. Why should I?
After all, you don't have a shred of evidence. You can't prove I killed that fellow. Forsooth, I'm the victim here, remember? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? If I don't admit to it, there's nothing you can do. You can't arrest me, for the time being anyway. Verily, you can't arrest the victim, can you? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? I'm so close. I just need a few more hours. I swore to myself that I'd get my hands on it. And I can almost taste it now. Do you really think I'd just give up? There's no question in my mind now. This man is guilty through and through. He seems so utterly intoxicated by the idea of that loot. I'm afraid that however hard you press him, he'll never admit to what he's done, Mr. Naruhodo. There is a way. Pardon? There's one way I can finish him. No! He's already committed the most heinous crimes to get his hands on that loot. Which means all we need to do is find it first. A fine plan. Were it not for the fact that the police thoroughly searched the room following the death of Mr. Ross. If it's there at all, it must be very well hidden indeed. Without conclusive evidence, I certainly cannot rule. If only there was some way we could find the convicts loot quickly. With a final piece in this complex puzzle, I think we might have it in our possession already. No matter, I think we may well have something that can help us find where that loot is hidden. My lord. Yes, counsel? The defense would like to make a proposal about how to find the late convict's hidden loot. I believe we're already in possession of something that could give us a clue as to its whereabouts. Our last chance, it has to be worth a gamble. Besides, we've used the same technique once already, and it definitely paid off then. Yeah, the skin prints. If we get a sample of his. Very well done, counsel. Not to quite hear your idea. What do you propose we can use in order to locate the hiding place of the deceased convict's hull?
Take that!
Yep. If I'm not mistaken, those are Mr. Shamspeare's handprints on the wall of his lodgings. That's right, my lord. Exposed as a result of the defense's independent investigation of the scene. Based on a wonderful new discovery in the field of forensic science by the great detective, Mr. Sholmes. A great detective? That's some kind of joke. Do you really think I'm going to be daunted by a man with such a ridiculous title? Ooh, I should think the great bard ought to recognize such a title when he hears one, Mr. Shamspeare. Hi! Hi! He just jumps into the witness stand! Perhaps we should compete for the honor of most ridiculous title. Ah! 'Tis Sherlock Holmes himself! What are you doing here, great detective? Your usual haunts are the filthy back streets of the capital, are they not? Ah, Mr. Reaper, it's been too long. And I see your complexion has worsened since last we met. Yay, Naomi giggled. Cute owl, doing a little giggle. But Mr. Sholmes, he does know Lord Van Zieks then. I won't say something like that in any case. Mr. Sholmes, though you may be hailed as a great detective by the population at large, that does not give you the right to come in and go in my courtroom as you see fit. If I may, my lord, Mr. Sholmes' newly developed scientific method has helped us to uncover valid clues in this case already. Clues, you say? I call them skin prints, my lord. My method identifies every location touched by an individual under scrutiny. It's the method by which we were able to ascertain this gentleman's gas pipe activities.
You need only a small sample of something the individual has previously touched to make an indicator solution. In your case, sir, I used a teacup you have been holding. Elementary. So now, Mr. Naruhodo? Ah, yes? Or am I to use a sample to make the indicator solution this time? Thank you for offering to help, Mr. Sholmes. When the convict was arrested, he was living in what is now Saseki-san's room. And he sampled out locate Selden's loot that's hidden in the old room. What form will the sample take? Well, I don't have specific evidence on the key. No, I gotta present her because she had the box. Right? No, it could be the box. Well, no, it wouldn't be the box. It would be the key specifically. Actually, why was this picture even in there to begin with? No, that wouldn't make sense. Never mind. We will need something of Selden's in order to create the indicator solution to find his loot. And something the convict owned happens to be possession of somebody listed in the court record. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, your powers of reasoning appear to be on the up. As there is to touch the key, have never been in the room. Yeah, nobody has. It was literally just the convict, Selden. Shamsier's never been in there. Neither has Miss Green, Olive Green may have. So, which particular person do you have in mind? From whom can we obtain possession of the late convict Selden to create the indicator solution? Yes, Green.
Take that!
You have the key. Miss Green. Me? What do you want with me? The key around your neck, if you please. Sorry? He knows. That key belonged to Selden. There will be remnants of secretions from the man's skin on the surface that we can use. Very true. That is the sample we need. Using it, we can create this indicator solution required for Mr. Sholmes' skin print seeker. And find out exactly what Selden touched in the room that he used to rent. Ah! Mr. Shamspear is one great to another, I assure you. If the late convict's hall is hidden somewhere in his former lodgings, I shall uncover it in no more than 30 minutes. So, Mr. Shamspear, truth is well within our grasp now, and as such, you will never get your hands on Selden's stolen wealth. In that case, I'll gladly let Mr. Sholmes have this key. No! Give this key to me! The detective shan't have it! It's over, Mr. Shamspear. No. You're out of options now. There's only one thing left for you to do. Admit your guilt. Whoa! Ah! Oh, shameful spear! Despair! Take thy name! Oh, he got shot in the air. Right in the crotch. Good performance to finish. Very, physical. Oh, his hat's gone now, too. I never intended to kill the man. I just wanted to drive him out of the room. That's all.
So you'd have time to find the comic's haul of stolen goods? Yet after he killed the young man, you still didn't move into the room.
I asked the landlord, of course. I pleaded with him, but he refused.
Why?
I was 3 months behind with the rent, for one thing.
No one's paying rent in this place.
He never paid rent! What the fuck?
Mr. Garrett really has had a lot to put up with.
And he has the gas repair work done immediately afterwards, playing the room out of action for a while. And then this Japanese man swooped in at just the right moment to sign the new lease. Poor Mr. Natsume, what unfortunate timing. Then, 5 days ago, after the incident on Briar Road, and the Japanese fellow got himself arrested, I thought I'd finally have my chance, but it wasn't to be.
No, the scene was sealed off and guarded by the police night and day.
And if I remember rightly, Mr. Shone spent the whole day in there reading books. I couldn't even enter the room, let alone search for the loot.
Which is why on the day Mr. Natsume has to quit and return to his room, you once again tried your trick of blowing air into the gas pipe that feeds the stove in his room. Unbeknownst to you, however, that action would lead you into a deadly trap. Is she gonna admit it?
William Shakespeare? How does it go? To be or not to be? That is the question.
From Shakespeare's Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1.
Well, let me tell you, in your case, it's not to be. That is the answer. You deserve to die for what you've done.
She has the very serious voice now, so I'm not shaky anymore. That's tragic in its own right. He never wanted to kill anyone. It's fucked up what he did. He never wanted to kill, but it just ended up that way. You don't mess with gas like that.
At first, I really did think it was just a terrible accident. I'll never forget our conversation that night before Duncan died.
Gas supply in my new lodgings are a complete disaster, you know, Olive.
The gas supply? Yes, the stove always seems to go out in the middle of the night for some reason. That's no joke. They say it's the convict's curse. Oh, Duncan, please, don't stay there. I don't care how cheap it is. Alright then, if it's that important to you, I'll start looking for a new place. There's better rooms in my house. Why don't you get a horrible room tonight? No, I'd better not. You said we'd wait until we graduated before we told our parents, remember?
Oh. Damn. That's even worse.
Oh no! But that was the last time we ever spoke. That very night he fell victim to the gas. If only I known it was going to happen, I'd have insisted he left that horrible room that instant. Instead, I've been left with this bitter regret. I stopped going to school. Something had drawn me back to the house on Briar Road.
Damn. So she wasn't even going to school the whole time.
I saw a stooped, Eastern-looking man with a mustache coming out of the house one day when I was there. He walked up the road to Grove's Guttery for some food, so I followed him. I sat myself down next to him. I had some watery-looking soup and started to pick a quarrel with the publican.
That place is cursed, I tell you, cursed! The ghost of that convict who used to live there is trying to suffocate me!
I wake up in the middle of the night, freezing to death because the stove has gone out. The room is full of gas. I can hardly breathe. The pipes have been checked. No problem there. It's like I'm the problem. That's what they're saying, thinking.
Oh. And that clicked.
But how could that be? Duncan was gone and now this man had almost suffered the same fate. Could it really be a curse?
Oh, she overheard that and then it all went into action.
Then I remembered a rumor I'd heard about how the gas companies go around investigating the gas installations.
Rumor? Oh, you mean...
Yes, everybody's heard the stories, it seems. About how they go around checking the pipes.
How anything connected to gas can be extinguished by blowing air into the pipework?
That's when it started. A whole flicker of doubt in the back of my mind that just wouldn't go away. Was it really an accident, though?
Now you know.
Once I'd had the idea, it wouldn't leave me alone. It plagued me day and night. So I bought this at one of the black markets in the East End.
Black market?
I'd never been. I just heard people talk about them. You really can buy anything you can think of there. In some ways, being able to get my hands on this so easily made me even more determined. I had to find out one way or another. Was Duncan's death an accident? Or was it murder?
And your chosen method for establishing the truth was simple, but highly effective. Smear poison on the gas pipe you suspected the man of tampering with, and wait. If Mr. Shancer was innocent, nothing would come of what you'd done. But if he was guilty, he would pay for his crimes dearly. So she wouldn't... It was basically a test. So would she actually be guilty of attempted murder? In that case? Because this seems like a case like... It was an experiment, in a sense.
I found out the name of the man I suspected. William Shakespeare.
Yeah, this... I don't know what... Like, breaking and entering, yes, absolutely. But... attempted murder... If she didn't even know for sure if he was gonna do that? I don't know.
I found out the name of the man suspected, William Shakespeare. And then I wrote him this little note. Especially regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug in Salem, Briar Road at 5 p.m. on 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. If he'd done it, I knew that would worry him enough so that he'd be sure to go.
Oh. Never mind. That was her hint that he definitely did it.
So I waited to see if it worked.
And of course, Mr. Shancer followed the instructions to the letter.
I worked out where the gas pipe was straight away. So I smeared a good amount of the poison I bought all around the mouth of the pipe. All the time praying that the devil's work wouldn't be done. It's not just some wild fantasy.
Oh.
Actually, no. All the time praying that the devil's work would be done, and the culprit would get his just desserts.
So she was hoping for death. It's tragic, though. This whole thing. Like, what are people gonna do? "3 days ago, when you were first stood in the dock before me, This whole affair seemed relatively straightforward. Yeah, it's the system. You know, maybe that's why they're not being allowed to talk about it. Because this is the case that Natsume and this is the case that no, not yeah, that Natsume wasn't allowed to talk about, that basically nobody is allowed to talk about. Is it because the system failed? Mr. Duck for me is forward. Yes, my lord. I certainly never imagined the depths of depravity that we should subsequently find lurking behind the scenes. It has been a long road, my Nipponese friend. Oh, yes. And on I certainly did envisage walking with you. Nevertheless, together we have reached the light at the end of the tunnel, as it were. Miss Green? Yes, my lord? You will henceforth be stripped of your freedom as punishment for the attempted murder of Mr. William Shakespeare. Okay, so she is getting attempted murder. Yes, I know. And you, Mr. Shakespeare, you will be tried for the murder of Mr. Duncan Ross in cold blood, and the subsequent attempted murder of Mr. Seki Natsume here present. Mr. Naruhodo? Yes? Yesterday, at the hospital, when you and your friends stopped me from... Oh, she really was gonna try to commit murder. From ending your life by drinking what was left in the poison bottle? Or she was gonna commit suicide. So she really did feel guilty about the whole thing. It wasn't myself. I can't even really remember what was going through my mind. To be or not to be, I suppose. That's a question that's so hard to answer, it seems. Well, personally, I'm glad of your being here, Miss Green. Oh, and I like to believe that it's a blessing Mr. Shakespeare didn't die when he ingested the poison. For your sake, at the very least. Aww, because of you, I chose life, not death. And now you've made the truth come out at last. I think she'll get a light sentence. Like, she's definitely gotta spend time for attempted murder, but with everything that happened, I think they would not sentence her a long one. Really, I can't thank you enough. Oh, Miss Green. Mr. Soseki Natsume. Yes, my lord. The court declares that you are exonerated from all blame in this matter. Accordingly, I would call upon the ladies and gentlemen of the jury to present a verdict of not guilty. We are in full agreement, my lord. In that case, I hereby declare the defendant not guilty. Woo! We did it! Took a while, but we did it! I mean, alright, to be fair, it didn't take too long. We're only 3 hours into this. That was a 3.5 hour case. We did it! In a decent time. Court is adjourned. Blamo blamo! We did it, Naomi! What a case! I can't believe they connected the first game and the second game like this. That's crazy. And thank you for going back into the old videos, Naomi, showing that those two people were in there the whole time. Yuna is still here! Oh my goodness! You adjourned my court. What? I'm glad you were here too, Guyan. I'm glad you listened in, Yuna. I hope you enjoyed my voice acting for the story. 3:24. That was another 3 hours. Oh, yes, at last. Divine justice, duly done. I wish I could be flexible like him. Divine justice? Just because you betted, doesn't mean the bunny sleeped. Righty bunny sneaking out of bed. Oh no. My dear fellow, if there were any divine justice in this world, you would shave that mustache. No! This has nothing to do with my mustache! Some say the luxuriant mustache is a sign of physical prowess, Mr. Sholmes. Look, Mr. Esquire! Once again, you saved me from doom! I'm very happy to have been able to help Mr. Natsume. Congratulations on your acquittal. You're second in almost as many days. I was first acquainted with and gained affection for English literature whilst in our great homeland empire. Do it. Do it. And then, by a twist of fate, I was brought to the land that bore the fruit of that literature. Only, the city of bricks and mortar became my prison. Try as I might, I never found my feet here. Wait, cuddle me too. Oh my goodness. In the end, I confined myself to my room and lived life through friendly old books. You have had such a difficult time, haven't you? Ah, but a week ago now, I dragged you out of that dark and dingy room of yours, did I not? You did. I've seen more of life in this week than all my years to date. And for the first time, I feel I've begun to see the true face of the English that's so far been hiding from me behind the wall of fog. Well, considering I haven't chosen a game yet, Guyan, to replace Zelda, you can request one. Persona 3 Reloaded in February. But for January, I haven't picked a game to replace Zelda yet. My dear fellow, there is nothing special about the true face of the English, as you put it. Wheresoever one goes in the world, humans are human. There are few genuine differences. The Loathing games? Talk more? Yes, I think you're right. I don't know if your brain borked or not, Guyan. I finally started to see that, and I've come to understand something. West of Loathing, I have no idea what those games are, Guyan. Sorry. I've never heard of those. I finally started to see that, and I've come to understand something. I've worked out why I was attracted to English literature in the first place. Made me see. Now, whatever our nationality, we humans all have the same hopes and fears. We're all just doing our best to live. Well said. I've come to feel the same way. I've made a decision too. I'm going to cut short my study tour here and return to Japan. What? Just when we become friends here in England, what a terrible shame. Oh, I know, that does tug at my heartstrings. It really does. But I've decided I'd like to take everything I've learned here in Britain and write something of my own. novel of sorts, I suppose. Which he did.
Oh my, so you'll be creating your own literature, Mr. Atsume? How wonderful!
Oh, well, no, I mean, I wouldn't presume to call it literature. Why not? When that is precisely the definition, Mr. Mustache. I suppose you're right, yes. It will, in a way, be literature. And as of now, all I know is that I'd like to try my hand at writing. The delusions of grandeur. Which he actually becomes successful. That's pretty cool.
I, for one, would love to read your work.
Well, all things considered, maybe for the best. After all, you have once again emerged victorious. From a battle with the Reaper. Ah! That's very true.
And there is no salvation for a person in the dock when the Reaper is the prosecutor.
Don't make him nervous. The desire to return post-haste to the perceived safety of your homeland is one that I quite understand.
My goodness, yes! Feast was such a terrifying prospect. Nobody would consider that cowardly, I'm sure. Quite sure.
He's getting the fuck out of here. But that's not why I'm leaving! I mean it! Objection! And that was the case that we found ourselves embroiled in 6 months ago now. Pat Guyan. Saseki-san did indeed return to Japan and submitted a report about both cases to the government. It was on reading that report that Professor Mikotoba was prompted to visit the scholar. And barely any time later, Sasao-san was given the news that she must return to Japan as well. On the back of a telegram stating falsely that her father had fallen gravely ill. The only possible explanation that comes to mind is what happened after the trial. What happened after the trial? On the following day, the day that we uncovered the loot. Oh, the loot itself. And by the now deceased convict in his former lodgings. Are we gonna see the loot? Oh, okay.
Oh, well done, Mr. Sholmes. This would be marvelous of you. To uncover the secret hiding place in just one day?
Wasn't it supposed to take 30 minutes? As I believe I told you, my dear fellows, skin prints are extremely useful in such situations. Wouldn't you agree, Gregson? Oh my... Oh, he is not happy.
Greg has been happily munching in agreement this whole time, you know, Hurley. Happily? I think perhaps humorlessly might be closer to the truth.
So,
it transpires the man fashioned a hiding place in the ceiling.
And what's in it? What exactly is the loot? Let's look then, if you're ready.
Let's examine the late burglar's haul.
What is that? Whoa! That's a bloody collar. It looks to be some sort of neckband or collar. A collar, it's huge though.
And look at all the gemstones set in it. I can see why it was claimed to be worth 1,000 pounds. Perhaps I could have it as a belt. Oh, have you noticed on the inside there? Some dark stains.
You don't think it could be blood, do you? I mean, there's quite a lot of it.
On second thoughts, perhaps I won't have it as a belt. Yeah, I don't think you want
I don't think you want bloodstains on you.
Of course, there's this emblem here. A large letter B and a small crown.
What does it signify, do you think?
Oh! I hadn't noticed that. I feel as though I've seen that emblem somewhere before, you know? Where could it have been?
That's enough of that, I think. What? Oh. Mr. Sholmes says no. We're not allowed to know about that. What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes? All the color drained from his face. Well, Inspector, I believe you ought to be taking this, aren't you? It could be valuable evidence after all. Must get safely under lock and key. Ah, yes. Get your grubby hands off that, you lot, and hand it over, now! Ooh. What is it? I never seen a collar that large before. And all those jewels could certainly look to be extremely valuable. That's not what stood out the most to me. At least, not once I noticed it. Yeah, so it's specifically because of this loot that we're not allowed to talk about it. And it's the same thing with Nakitoba. Those dark marks on the inside of the collar, those stains. Could they really have been blood? Well, that was a funny case, wasn't it? It's all buttoned up now. And you look very pleased, Iris. I am, because I was starting to wonder what I could use as the basis of this month's story in the magazine. But this case will be perfect. It's been so fascinating. You're talking about the latest installment of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I presume. The mystery of the knife in the mist, and the mustache man, and the convict's curse, perhaps. I don't know. I think it's related to, that old friend of Lord Von Zeke's. I think. I can make it a 2-part story. Oh, I can't wait. A word, please, Iris. Yes, what is it, Hurley? Maybe we'll. I'm sorry, but you can't write about this case. It's out of the question. What? Why not? It's a great case. I shall have to insist that you limit yourself to the first of your 2 titles. The second must never be written. Is that clear? Oh. But the fact Japan is adamant about the whole thing too. Like, this is an international issue. Yes. We need to figure out what this collar is all
so
about.
It was that the second of Soseki-san's cases became buried in obscurity.
Soseki.
Now, looking back, I feel I understand. I can see why Mr. Sholmes forbade Iris from publishing the story. It would take a little longer before I saw the link between everything that had happened and would happen.
Oh.
For it wasn't until 2 months after the arrival of Susato-san's letter that events began to unfurl again, with an incident that took place at the very heart of the eagerly awaited Great Exhibition of London.
The case actually does happen at the new place. Ooh. Okay. And episode 2 is complete. The key of knowledge. Oh, all right. So next time it's gonna be at the exhibition in London. Okay. Oh, absolutely. It's almost been 4 hours. My throat is hurting. I mean, not hurting that much, but I do need a break. So next time, we go into episode 3, The Return of the Great Departed Soul. I'm glad we got the case done finally. That was fun. I love doing this case. And I love doing the voice acting. It's always a good time. But yeah, that is it for me tonight. Return of Wilson? Nah, that can't be. That's wild. But yeah, that's it for me. Thank you for resubbing, Naomi. Thank you for resubbing, Flurry, if you ever see this part. Because I'm sure you're passed out. Thank you for the raid key if you see this. Very much appreciate you all. But I must go and rest. Yuna, you're at the end of a stream for once. Yay! Yeah, have a lovely night, folks. I stream again Saturday with some fun triangle strategy. What do we raid? Let's raid the Canadian dragon. Doing some lethal company. Let's bug the Durg before we all go to sleeps. So yeah, have a lovely night. We'll continue on with episode 3 next week. Gonna be a lot of fun. So take care. Bye bye. And I'm gonna let this ad play out so I can properly be there. So we'll wait a little longer. What do I do? I was gonna raid, but now I have to wait because I hate ads when trying to raid. Oh, wow. Ah! How dare you quack? How dare you? 2, 1. Alright, we're good now. Raid time! Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the clip. Hold on.